Hi, friends. Welcome into the firm of Harris and Meringue. Patrick Harris, yours truly with you. That's Danny Meringue to my left. Happy little Monday here. The countdown is on, my friends.
For Seattle Harris?
Don't you start. We have a countdown in my house. My wife is more excited than anything that we are officially 2 weeks away from no more football. And I say to her, I go, you understand, love, that you are actively rooting against me right now. And she goes, yep, don't care. Get bent, loser.
Stuff.
Great weekend.
Was it?
No. No, I had a terrible weekend. But that's fine. I'm here with you guys now. You know,
Fake it till you make it.
You know, it's like Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah.
We ate at the Olive Garden on Friday.
Oh, did you? I haven't been doing
Yes.
Olive Garden in forever.
We had. I had promised the wife. I was like, hey, maybe I'll stop by and get some salad and breadsticks to bring home or something. And I don't know what's going on over there, sweet fancy Moses. Anyway,
I'm sorry, we both did it at the same time.
so
We both pulled up YouTube.
Hi, guys.
I'm a foot taller than Harris.
Welcome to the firm of Harrison Meringue. I want to drink your blood.
I saw it about 2 seconds before he did. I just flashed a look over at him. He just turns the monitor towards me.
Hello.
the firm of Hervé Villachez and Meringue.
Hello. So glad
Patrick
to be back.
DeVito.
Do you know how much I
Boston
love this
plane.
show?
The plane.
Hola, amigos.
Hola, amigos.
Goodness
see,
gracious.
now we got an overcorrection. That's all right. So anyway, yeah. My 9-year-old, she was all excited that we were going to go to the Olive Garden on Friday night. And she's like, Dad, are you ready to go to the Garden of Olives? It's like, oh, I have really imprinted myself on you, haven't I?
Yeah. Making that sound a lot better than it actually is.
It's like, it's like I don't call it the QFC. It's the center of quality foods.
The center. Well, that's how like all Latin language is.
Right?
It's never the Olive Garden. It's the Garden of Olive.
Yes.
The Formica table? No, it's a table of Formica.
There you go.
Yeah.
It always classes up the joint.
Well, it's like, you add the descriptor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the
I don't.
the main player is the focus. It's kind of like the home team versus the host team.
I can vividly remember the last time I went to Olive Garden. It was 6 years ago, like during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So almost 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the few restaurants that like had to go like and had it down pat
Yeah.
right out of the gate.
Yeah. Well, look, when you're there, you're family, even
Yeah.
if you're just picking it up.
Even if you're just picking it up, yeah. No, but that was the last time I'm not a big Italian guy, so
I am a big Italian
Yes.
guy. Like literally.
I'm literally Italian and fat. Let's go me.
Exactly. But when I go to a place like that, I don't want to just go and get like, spaghetti and red sauce and meatballs. You know what I mean? It's like we can do that at home.
Totally.
So I go get something different.
My first industry job is the old spaghetti factory on 164th in East Vancouver.
I'm sorry.
I was a busser.
You know what we all call you guys in the restaurant biz, right?
I am familiar with it. Yes,
I
It
will
is-
not bring that
it
up
is
on
not
the radio
FCC.
program.
It is not FCC appropriate. Then I worked at a bunch of other places. Later in my career, I became a dirty bird as well.
Ah, the Dirty Bird. Yes, that is one we can share on the airwaves.
in a Seahawk through and through.
Dude, what is with that? I told Dirt.
It's Seattle Harris.
I told Dirt. I'm in this room with Danny to my left, and Sprague's cleaning up his stuff, and I turned to Dirt and I said, "You know what? I find you a wonderful human being. You're a great dude. You're a nice man, and we have always enjoyed your company. Unlike these bags next to me,
You know what that
you and Sprague.
yeah.
And I said to Dirt, I said, if you ever claim that I am a Seahawk fan, you will be the first fight I ever get into.
Yeah.
Now, who wins? Go, I got no idea. I'm probably putting my money.
I got a pretty good idea.
I think I'm going to put my money on Dirt, and I won't throw the fight. You know what I mean?
Right, but you're still throwing fists.
But yeah, he will be the first person that I lose a fight to.
You're Seattle Harris, man. You bleed blue and green.
Look, I just
The green has infiltrated your blood because you're a big duck honk
Well,
now
it's
too.
like a teal green for Seattle. It's like a seafoam green in Seattle.
Right.
Who Dirt even flat out said he's like I'm going to convert him over to a duck fan.
Oh, he believes I'm going to be a duck.
I mean, I do.
He believes believes I'm
I
going to be
do.
a Duck.
Like I told him flat out, I don't think that's a far bridge to cross.
Oh, I'll tell you, I'm a Seahawk fan before I'm a Duck. Way sooner than that. I just got back from Montana. I had to go to Montana, deal with some family stuff. And when you're out there, and there's a lot of family that I haven't seen in a while that are kind of, very, very proud and happy for me that I finally, in their minds, have a real job, to where in my mind I have a fake job now. So thanks for the support there.
Yeah, great. Family sucks.
And
dude.
they're like, oh, yeah, you guys probably talk a lot of Seahawks. You're a big Seahawk fan, right? And I was like, I actually don't really, have a lot of favorite teams in sports. I root for the Blazers because I live there.
Right.
I went to Washington State. So, I got a
Go Cougs.
$45,000, $70,000 reasons why I root for Wazoo.
Right.
But no, I kind of just watch sports, and it's kind of really nice. And people look at you really strangely. They look at you really weird, like, what? You don't have a team? I was like, let me tell you what. My life is so fantastic for not having a team. Now, do I miss out on my stepfather and my stepbrother went to the game yesterday in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Great seats, spent a fortune, father-son bonding.
They did
Seahawks
spend a
go to the
fortune. You
Super
told us that. We won't bring it up, but
Seahawks go to the Super Bowl in Seattle against your those are really cool memories made.
absolutely.
Do I miss out on that? I do miss out on that. But you know what else I do? I sleep every night. Fantastically to boot. Because it's like, if you're a Bronco fan right now, you want to blow your brains out. You're telling me I could have won that game with that doo-doo performance at quarterback? I'd be so blacked out I'd never make it to work. And the game ended at 5.
I
kinda
know,
nice.
it was 3:30. Well, here.
It's
I guess in
nice.
Denver, sure, around 5. Almost 5.
I mean,
Which is
that
always,
game was horrendous.
Which is always so funny. I sit here and I don't have a skin in the game, and it's like, critique the Broncos, and someone's like, that's just because you're a Chiefs fan like everybody else. Criticize the Chiefs, it's like, you think the NFL's rigged, don't you? And it's like, nope, I just watch football.
Yeah. Let me show you my Patrick Mahomes tramp stamp tattoo.
Yes.
The greatest thing about
Cue Chiefs honking 3, 2, 1 on the next line.
the greatest part about Wazoo not being a real college football program anymore is now I just watch college football. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I know you think I love the Ducks, but hey, Ducks pay the bills.
I mean, you do.
Ducks pay the bills.
Yeah, even if they didn't, you would.
If they didn't, I don't know. That'd be an interesting human experiment.
I know which way you lean.
How? Because I think they finished 4th in the world, Greg.
You're just out here. In them duck sheets.
I can't live the hater life that you live. It doesn't give me enough juice. I wish it it's like that you see Monsters Inc.
Oh, yeah.
The scare, you got to scare the kids and it
Fill
fills
a
the
tank.
electricity.
Yeah.
Your hatred fills your tank every
yeah.
day. I'm proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could do that.
Look, man, if you're gonna hate a team, hate hard.
That is true.
You can't half it.
No. You got hate in your heart, let it out.
Yeah, it's not actual hate either. 'Cause
No.
you've heard me say this a million times. I don't hate the Ducks. I hate their fans.
I struggle with Seahawks fans too.
Yeah.
But I think it's just proximity, They're not Eagles fans.
See, I like Eagles
Now
fans.
they're different.
Yeah.
They're very different fan bases.
Yeah.
But if you want a non-biased approach to difficult fan bases, I mean, Philly's got to be number 1.
Oh yeah.
Boston probably number 2. Sorry, Cooley, I know you're a big Red Sox guy.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, number 1 has to go to the ones throwing batteries at Santa.
It's not just that.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't matter what team is in their city.
Well, no,
It's
that does matter though.
Well, I
number
know.
1 has to go to the city. That
Well, I know, but I
throws
mean,
batteries
that's
at Santa.
It's like 50 years ago now.
I know this town.
Look, people don't forget.
Yeah, I mean,
I know this town hates Lakers. We've built that
Yeah.
rivalry between Blazers Lakers. But this as an LA kid, and half my family grew up in LA, so I've spent a ton of time down there. They're all diehard. They love their teams. There's a lot more to do in LA than just sports.
oh yeah.
So
it's-
you can be casual. You can be a diehard Dodger fan without going to every game and yelling at Giants fans every day.
This
True.
Coming from a Bleak on the YouTube, the only bigger Ducks homer than Patrick on the fan is Danny.
me. huge duck honk.
Sorry, that tickled me.
No, it's fun. It's fun. No, it was. I mean, your weekend was tough and rough. Mine was the first weekend I've had off in 7 weeks.
Dude, and you get a Peacock game tonight.
Yeah, guess who's not doing TV tonight?
East Coast Peacock.
So it's done early, so I can watch the game, throw it on, and just kind of chill. It's Not bad.
Danny's going to start drinking tonight when he hears this. He's like, oh, baby.
Oh, basketball.
Let's do
Give me
this.
the
We're
ball
getting
because
hammed.
I'm gonna dunk it.
By drink, you mean drink water.
No, dude, tonight you're just going to celebrate.
Yeah,
Just going to wreck all those nice days off.
No, absolutely not. Just not. I when I was moving, I had booze in my house. I'd been there basically since I moved in. People gave it to me, and everybody who helped move, I was like, "Do you drink?" And they were like, I go, how about a special 19-year aged bottle of Dewar's that was from the 123rd U.S. Open? And they're like, "Oh, I drink."
I definitely drink.
Because
I'm not a Scotch guy. Well, I love Scotch, by the way.
yeah, it's like what you got there? You know,
I'm not a Scotch guy either.
anything that I
actually do
had,
like Scotch.
I had like
Whiskey, Irish whiskey, great.
yeah,
Not a
I
Scotch
had
guy.
like unopened boxes that people, stuff that people had given me over the years. I had a couple bottles of wine that they've been sitting in, a nice, cool, dry place, and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, that has dust on it. I go, huh? And they're like, what year is that? Oh, there you go. Just take whatever you want. I just don't drink, man.
We were a half hour early in a town called Conrad, Montana, for this family event.
Little frontier town.
Oh, it's very, very tiny. It's one of those places that has a ton of local stores, but they're all like boarded up.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a half hour to kill. We were like, I'm a little hungry. Let's get some quick breakfast at this little bar diner thing.
Saloon kind of deal.
Calling it a restaurant is a huge jump.
Yeah.
I was greeted by a regular the moment I walked in the door. And, it's kind of a heavy-hearted family moment. So my uncle and I sat there, and he ordered a shot of whiskey, and I didn't know that he did. And I said, can I get a shot of your nicest whiskey? Just kind of take the edge off as I'm about to walk into this, extremely depressing event. And I go, what is your nicest whiskey? And she goes, ooh, you're good with Jameson, right? And I was like, that's it. I was like, that's it, huh? I love Jameson. Bring it on down. And I just smiled at her, gave her the little side wink.
Ain't nothing wrong with some Jameson,
Gave her a little
baby.
side wink, and I was like, we ain't in Kansas no more.
Nope.
Or are we?
Yeah, well,
Or are we?
depending on where in Kansas you are. Yeah, that'll.
I remember one of the drives, the drive back from Minnesota and leaving North Dakota and the Minnesota-North Dakota border. And look, Montana is a very large state from east to west, so we had to find a place to stay in eastern Montana, and we landed on Miles City, which I think is the biggest town in eastern Montana, which doesn't say a whole lot.
Nope.
But yeah, no. But it was a nice little hotel. They had a little pizza joint bar.
The deer outnumber the people by a lot.
It was great.
Deer are beautiful.
They're smattered all over the road. Did you see that out there?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
I guess Great Falls not as much. Yeah.
It's really flat out there.
Yeah. Still
You can see the mountains, though.
It's still high desert
to the
before you
west.
get into the mountains. Yeah.
Oakley Dokley, we got a show for you today. I don't know if you know this, but a couple football games were played this weekend.
One really good, one horrid.
Well, I would argue entertainment-wise, I
Yeah.
was there.
There you go.
there. So we got a lot to get to. We'll heavy on the NFL as the Super Bowl matchup is set. We will touch on some Blazers as well, plus Web Gems at 11:45. Thanks for being with us on a Monday. Happy to be here with you. When we come back,
Holy catfish!
you're in the Super Bowl, baby. We're stoked. 105.1 The Fan. 10:17 here, Portland Sports Leader, baby. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire show. YouTube.com/1051 The Fan. Thanks for being here. Nice little sports weekend. Nice little sports weekend. I am glad that both these games are on Sunday, back to back. Saturday NFL games weird me out a little bit.
How come?
Well, because I'm kind of like you just, in sports, you're just like bred into, you're just used to the constant. I was watching an episode of Cheers on the plane.
Norm!
It was like season 6, so it was Rebecca, which I'm not the biggest Kirstie Alley fan on that show.
But you got Woody in by that point.
But
too,
Woody's
of
there,
course.
and Woody's hilarious. And Rebecca is trying to class up the joint, so she starts a book club for women. It's all these blue hairs that come in, and they actually just get hammered and try to fondle Sam and Woody and Frasier.
I would too.
And
At least Sam.
and they're going through, and Sam goes, you can't have book night on Sunday. And she goes, why not? And he goes, guys, it's pool night, pool tournament night.
Yeah.
They're like, what about Monday? Like, darts. What about Tuesday? Well, recovery from darts. And they just go through the list of what they do every single night. Monday night is Monday Night Football. Tuesday was TNT basketball. You just get used to it. So when you throw NFL on Saturday, I'm just kind of like, this is weird to me.
I mean, without college football, it's kind of nice.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you get more content for sure. But I'm also a fan of like having a free Saturday.
Yeah, but also I don't want my whole Sunday to be like 9. And people are like, oh, I love 9 hours. I don't either. I don't love 9 hours of football.
I don't either.
Christmas Day basketball. Like, I'll make the exception for that. Like,
Well,
but that's
Thanksgiving Day football,
Yeah,
I make
like-
the exception for that.
That's what I mean. Like, but outside of those, I don't want that.
Well, even your typical, NFL doubleheader, if it's just 2 games, that's you're looking at 7 hours.
Yeah, I'm just like,
plus.
I'm good, man. That's just like that's the whole day.
Yeah.
And so like, I want a whole day of football. I'm like, that's cool, man. I want to have a life too.
I know we'll get to that game a little later, but like the Patriots-Broncos game was 3 hours.
It went pretty quick.
I mean, because you can't throw the ball, you can't run the ball.
No.
The game started at 1, it was over at 4.
Yeah. It was
I
pretty
only know
quick.
this because like I had to drop the car off by 5, I had to get to the airport, and so I was like looking at the clock, and it was like, there's Mike Vrabel grabbing the statue at like 4:15.
And you're like, all right,
Oh,
time to
that's right.
go.
You're
I
on the old
know.
Mountain Time too. So here was 3:15.
Oh yes. I'm
Yes.
like, oh dude, this is like a baseball game.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks defeat the Los Angeles Rams 31-27 in an instant classic. I'm first things first on that instant classic thought. I'm glad this game lived up to it
Yeah, it did.
in terms of the drama, the entertainment, the rivalry, the hatred. All the key players showed up. Rashid Shaheed showed up. Cooper Kupp showed up. JSN, good God. Kenneth Walker, Sam Darnold, Puka Nacua, Devonta Adams, Matt Stafford. Everybody was there.
I mean, quarterbacks shined, man.
Quarterback shined, and we'll start right there. Matthew Stafford was 22 of 35, 374, and 3 tuds. Not to be outdone, but a very similar performance as well from Sam Darnold. 25 of 36, 346, 3 tuds. No turnovers from
And
the
they needed
quarterbacks.
every bit of that performance from him.
Yeah. They needed every little bit from Sam Darnold, and he delivered.
We wondered if we were going to get the top Sam Darnold or the bottom end of the Sam Darnold experiment, and we got the top.
Yeah.
And they needed every bit of it.
And I give a lot of credit to Clint Kubiak in the sense of when you compare the game that Sam Darnold had against the Niners versus at the end of the season, or at the end of the season and last week,
Yeah.
compared to what he did today, I have to believe that was kind of the game plan. We know we can beat San Francisco without being crazy. Let's just get out of here. Let's run the ball. Let our defense do some awesome stuff. Get an extra bonus special teams play, and let's get out of here.
It was Cristobal with Beck in the first couple weeks of the
Yeah.
playoff, where there's like, against Ole Miss, he showed out.
I need you to do something.
I need you to put on for me now, young man. And Darnold was incredible. The third down conversions that he had in the second half were phenomenal. Keeping the play alive. Even the ones where on second down, there was one where There was a little bit of pressure up the middle. He just scrambled away and threw the ball away. It was just like he didn't take the sack. He didn't run out of bounds. Like he didn't make mistakes.
No.
And that was a thing that really stood out. And to be honest, I thought that the Seahawks, when they opened up that 11-point lead, I was like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh, you thought the blowout was
I
on
thought
its
the
way.
blowout was coming. Because the way that the Seahawks were moving the ball, the way Darnold was playing, the way the Rams were kind of struggling a little bit, especially after the fumble, after the muff pump, and I'm like, oh, buddy, here comes the wave, and here comes Stafford. And it was just like, oh, that's right. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer who can really sling that thing.
I was watching the game with my mom, and she kept saying, she's a Seahawk fan, adjacent due to her husband, and a lot of the family are Seahawk fans, but she's a fan. And she is just worried the entire time. She's like, that Super Bowl quarterback over there, I'm just worried about him. I'm worried about him. I was like, I don't know, Mom, things look pretty good right now. But I said this to you before we started the show. Once that muffed punt return happened and the Seahawks got the ball and scored and kind of opened up that lead a little bit in the third quarter, you're right. Stafford said, boys, jump on.
Yep.
I am not losing this game.
We're not running the ball anymore. This is mine now.
And of all the pluses and minuses for the Rams in that game, we'll get to them in a second, they did not lose because of Matt Stafford.
No.
In fact, I would argue Matt Stafford was in that game. Look, that Seattle defense is really, really good.
Dude, Eamon Wari is an absolute monster.
And to stick with Seattle here, I don't want to bash that team for giving up 27 points. It's a street fight. It's your rival. You're going to give up points.
And Stafford's really good.
To expect Matt Stafford to play the way he did against Chicago, against Seattle, that would be stupid.
Yeah.
That would be malpractice. That would be unintelligent. But Seattle was ready in all facets of the ball. Look, what was the big talking point going into this game? No Zach Charbonnet. What are they going to do with Zach Charbonnet? Cooper Kupp, shell of himself. Not the Rams, Cooper Kupp, blah, blah, blah. Everyone came to play. Kenneth, who had a better game, Kenneth Walker III or Cooper Kupp? I don't know.
And then you throw
They
in
both were great.
Holani was huge
Yep.
in little moments. Like there was one play where Darnold had to scramble out and just found Holani, and instead of taking a sack, he gets it to Holani, just kind of throws it down at his feet, and a sack turns into like a 5-yard gain. And it was like just keeping things going, keeping things moving. And like Darnold didn't see ghosts.
No.
Ever. Like even late in the game when he started getting pressure up the middle, he took the sack, and it was like, it goes to, was it 3rd and 15? And then you get the offsides call, and then all of a sudden now it's 3rd and 10, and guess what? Here he comes again, hits the out route, first down again. It's like every time there was something that needed to be done, Darnold came up huge. And in the last 2 drives to the Rams, Seattle's defense came up huge.
I think there's also a lot to be said about his receiving core. Sam had to put balls in places that guys, they were hospital balls, for lack of a better term. JSN took 2 hits in that game that I was like, good God, my man. That's the best. That's one of the best receivers in the NFL. Stop making him jump over the middle with 2 safeties next to him.
Get him killed.
And JSN grabbed both of them, took the hits, went down. Cooper Kupp down on the goal line. Like
Bobo.
a dude named Jake Bobo caught his 4th pass of the year for a huge touchdown in that game. They say it on TV, and I think it's such an easy narrative that a lot of athletes always, we ride with our guy, and that's our quarterback, that's my teammate, and we run off his energy and stuff. I saw it yesterday. For real. Those guys truly, truly believe in Sam Darnold. And it's funny when you compare the narrative of Sam versus actual Sam. Because the narrative is very much like, this guy kind of sucks. He had a good reclamation year in Minnesota. That Kevin O'Connell,
But we saw
really
him.
smart.
We saw him see ghosts at the end, and that's what it was.
He was a good backup in San Francisco. But it's Shanahan, you know.
And that's the thing I think we talked about with Darnold towards the end of the year, kind of going into the playoffs. Sam has not had the opportunity to be in big games. The first one he got in Minnesota, he crapped himself.
Yep, it was rough.
Yeah, it's like it happens. It happens to Herbert. It happens to Stroud. It just find your young quarterback when you get put in those positions. Like it's very rare that you see a guy Tom Brady this thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the exception, not the rule. Young quarterbacks, when they're put in those make or break moments, more often than not, they'll break. That's just the reality of it. And so it was like you looked at him and you go, let's see what he does when he gets put in this position a few more times. Well, has he come up over and over again in must-win moments for the Seahawks over the last, 5 weeks? Yeah,
And-
he has.
And I think what's most impressive, kind of, I was alluding to it earlier. I think what's most impressive is he's doing it in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, managing, calming down.
Last week just didn't make mistakes at all. Didn't just let the blowout happen.
Look, that throw to Rashid Shaheed to start at the beginning of the game. Ooh, that's a big time money throw.
Look,
Caught him in stride.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm sitting there watching it, it's like, when a receiver's going to learn? It's tough. You can't tell where the guy is behind you. Just kind of foot fire your feet as you're running, and Shaheed's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But that time, I thought that set the table for him very, very well. Get a good one under his belt, calm the nerves, and I wonder if his nerves are actually a little more relaxed because it's the third time playing the Rams. You know what you're looking
yeah,
at.
you know what you're going to see. They might throw something a little bit different, little tendency breaker, those
And
kind of things.
Could you really have played worse than you did in the other two games? No. So you're a little house money. Yeah, it's an NFC championship game, but you're at home, and you're against a familiar foe. And we'll get to this in 15 minutes or so, but McVay has not had a good season as a head coach, and so
Which is kind of funny to think about when you're talking about in the NFC title game.
also the second longest tenured coach in the NFL.
Who has one of them things?
Who has one of them things. And I think everything just broke right for him, that offense, and the defense bend, don't break.
The one time you want a guy to get down out of bounds and to have I wanted the Rams to have their chance.
Oh, totally. Me too.
Stafford's got one of the best arms in the history of the game. You're like, I wonder.
I was at the
wonder.
I was at the Salt Lake airport when that happened, and I was kind of a little far from a TV. So when Puka Nacua came across and caught the ball, I was like, oh my God, there's 3 seconds?
And
then
Stafford can get it there.
And then all of a sudden, I see guys on the Seattle sideline doing this. I'm like, oh my God.
Because the refs are winding.
He didn't get out of bounds? Oh.
The knee went down inbounds. It's tough. But with Darnold, the thing about him is it's never been about the tools.
No.
Darnold's got a great arm.
No.
He's got a high football IQ.
As a prospect, he was drafted ahead of Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Smart kid.
He was one of the top-rated recruits coming out in high school. Like, there's nothing about him where you're like, well, you kind of have to work around this. You know what I mean? And you're just finally seeing it come together.
Yeah, let's stick in this game. Let's slide over to the defense, though, as, hey, number 27, the hell are you doing? Why don't you calm down over there, brother? We're trying to go to a Super Bowl. We'll go there next, but first, the Kahuna with sports.
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Trailblazers looking to start a new win streak as they hit the road for a 3-game trip. It starts tonight in Boston against the Celtics. 5 o'clock tip on Peacock. Denny Avdia and Robert Williams III are both questionable. The Blazers are 7.5-point dogs, 23-23 on the season. That is 9th in the Western Conference. Super Bowl 60 matchup is all set. Seahawks and Patriots for all the marbles. February 8th at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are early 4.5-point favorites. Multiple reports say former Chargers and Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers withdrawing his name from the Bills' head coaching search. The Bills also considering Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinski, who has reportedly withdrawn his name from the Browns search. Udinski has also agreed to a new deal with Jacksonville should he not be hired, as Buffalo's coach. And the Chargers have officially named former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel as their new offensive coordinator. McDaniel had withdrawn his name from consideration for the Browns and Bills jobs and also interviewed for the Raiders job. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
503-864-6326 is the fan text line. Jump on in there, you Seahawk fans. Today's your day to bask in glory. Darnold got himself paid last night with the win. Seattle going to have to open up the bag to keep him, and in 1 year they'll need to pay JSN, which he may ask for number one wide receiver money. B-Rod, he is going to get number one wide receiver money.
Yeah, when you lead the NFL in receiving yards, you're going to get that money.
Shout out Meringue. That was my biggest takeaway. Eamon Wari was the best player on the planet right now. Tackling Corum for a tackle for loss, then on the next play, locking up Devontae in coverage. Locking up Puka.
He's a dude.
He's a dude as a rookie.
He should win Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, even with the games missed. They've got kind of a hybrid Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas back there. He is just an and I know the praise that is giving a rookie. Here's two Hall of Famers. He's that dude.
I know this defense is very fascinating, and you know, for any team that does this, like if the Bears continue to grow off the progression of Caleb this year, and they kind of shore up some defensive issues, you always compare it to the ones in the past. If the Ravens get good again on defense, it'll be, is this the 2000 Ravens all over again? And so it's easy to do that. It's easy to look at this team. You know, I heard Ian Furness this morning on Dirt and Spray kind of talking about, is this as good as the 13-14 Seahawks? Probably not yet. But there is something about the unit as a whole that I really like in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is in 13-14, everybody knew all those guys' names. Bobby Wagner, Bruce Irvin, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, you know, dudes up and down, Cliff Averill, you know, dudes up and down everywhere that everyone knew the names. This isn't a full name thing.
No.
But Witherspoon, D-Law, a lot of those dudes, Eamon Wari, like these are good, really high-end players.
If you want to make a local comparison, it's kind of like what the Ducks were defensively this year.
Totally, we know all those guys' names.
Yeah,
But it's more of a unit.
It's more of a unit than anything else. It's like there's really not a weakness in them. You know what I mean? They're disruptive. They're aggressive. You know, they finished as much love as we gave the Texans, or I believe rightfully so, as being the best defense in football. The Seahawks finished with allowing less points per game. I think it was like by 0.2 or something like that, because the last week of the season, the
Seahawks, Broncos, Texans.
Yeah, the Texans gave up a few more points, but they also scored a few more points, and that dropped them, I think, to number 2. But that Seahawks defense has been really good all year.
Really good, and I think, you know, Mike McDonald mentioned this at the end of the Niners game, and I thought it was such a cool moment of honesty that actually, in hindsight, might have been a bad idea, because I think it gave McVay some fuel. And what McDonald said after the Niners game was they were coming at us.
Mm-hmm.
They were chirping, they were playing a little chippy, and they were trying to get under our skin, and our guys handled it very, very well. That must have put a light off in Sean McVay, because they got Tariq Woolen. And I agree with some of the narrative that I think it's kind of a soft call to call taunting. I also think in a game when you are running as fast as you can to hit somebody with your head as hard as you can, that taunting is not allowed. Maybe a different discussion for a different day. But Tariq Woolen had potentially what could have been the biggest disaster in Seahawks history, outside of not running the football in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You get a 15-yard penalty on a 4th down on a play that they did not convert and had no chance to convert.
You gave him life.
You gave him life, and then you get burned by Puka Nacua on the next for a touchdown. That set itself up to be one of the most cataclysmic, boneheaded D-bag move
It had Buckner
ever
written
done.
all over it.
Oh, it had everything written all over it. And the fact that they survived that, I think, goes to show the resilience of this team, and I think they're a very good coach team. Kid just had a bad spot, and I think it's a soft call.
Little column A, little column B, but yeah, you can't put yourself in that position. But it also shows that Seattle can overcome those things. You know, with the one thing I did like about really the last 2 weeks of NFL football is, for the most part, we haven't seen the stripes.
No.
Refs have been very quiet.
Very quiet.
Guess what? How it should be. Let them decide it on the field.
Outside of the Broncos-Bills game.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. There's
Yes.
a lot. I mean, whether you agree or disagree, there was a lot of zebras in that. But, yeah, you're right. Guys are able to play, and that's kind of why I didn't really like the call. Plus, if you see McVay's right there, and some other assistant coaches are, like, doing the throw the flag
The
thing.
instigation of it all.
And that might have been you've got one of them. To quote Danny Meringue, you got one of them. Yeah, I'll give you a call here. Or you can be the conspiracy theorist and that comes down from New York.
The script.
Throw the flag.
Throw
Keep this bad boy going.
We need to keep it
Because
going.
the game would have been over at
Yeah.
that point.
Oh yeah.
That game would have been
Yeah.
very much over at
You
that
can
point.
stop there, and then it's just how much time can you eat up?
Another thing I really loved from that moment, if you are a Seahawk fan, is I never saw, and it might have happened and I just didn't see it. I didn't see any coaches going up to Reek and chewing his ass out for it. I saw players do it.
Yep. You saw a rookie do it.
I saw a rookie do it. And just the cojones for a rookie to do it is one thing. But the fact that, and he fought back a little bit, but the fact that they were all holding him accountable, I thought shows, this is the DNA you have to have as a team. We'll get to the other game as well.
That's championship caliber.
Vrabel has that in New England right now. It's accountability. And, it's like sometimes being a parent. I'll come in and squash this squabble my two kids are having. Maybe you guys, I always give them a moment to try to figure it out for themselves. Now, if they decide they're going to be petty and not let it, then I'll step in. But good on McDonald, good on that staff for letting them try to figure that out, because it could have been a really, really embarrassing moment.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just, I saw a TikTok video the other day. It was dogs are better at disciplining their kids than humans. And it was mama with a pup and a pup acting out of control kind of a deal. And mom just going nose to nose with a woof.
Yeah.
Or one was whining, the other one, dad just swallowed the puppy's head, knock it off. And then there's another one I think it was a Doberman or a German Shepherd. The adult was sitting and the person was like, "You're not going to get your treat until the other one sits." The other one goes over and smacks the puppy on the butt and sits him down. It's sometimes it's better to let the pack rule the pack. You don't need to come in and handle it every single time, because you said that accountability. If you let those guys police their own, if you want to take another sport, the NHL, they do this better than anybody. Somebody acts out of pocket on the other team. You know what happens on the next shift? That dude's getting slammed into the boards, and the fight's going to happen. And then once the fight happens, that's done.
And baseball's kind of good at this too, because a manager will step up and take the fall and get tossed. The second the manager goes out there and gets tossed, is assigned to the bench saying, "Do what you got to do.
Yep.
Go police. I'm out of this now." I didn't do that.
Yep.
I didn't tell that pitcher to throw at that batter. I was in my office.
Yep.
I got thrown out.
And my phone's in the dugout.
Yeah, I forgot my phone. I'm having a smoke and a shot in the office. Old Jim Leland style.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. Imagine if the NBA could police themselves.
Well, they used to be able to.
They used to be able to.
They used to be able to.
Old Lambeer would police you real quick. Same with old Rodman.
Yeah, Jordan rules.
Yeah, so shout out to the Seahawks defense for being a unit and kind of taking care of their own. And again, you dodge a bullet, because that could have been really, really bad. Let's slide over to the losing team right now. I got some issues with old McVay. And I think they were kind of fortunate to be in as good of a situation as they were, and not just in this game, but in some games previous. We'll go to the Rams side of things as the Seahawks defeat the Rams 31-27 to book their ticket to their 4th Super Bowl in the last 20 years. We'll do that next. 105.1 The Fan. Coming up in hour number deuce, we'll get to the AFC Championship, the weather, coaching, riveting quarterback play. Is that Tom Brady out there? Man, getting it done.
Good God.
So we'll get to that in hour number deuce. Blazers coming up in the big nooner, too, so stick around for that. We will get to some Blazers over the weekend, as they're in a back-to-back right now. But sticking in the NFC Championship and maybe putting a little wrap on the game itself, I was pretty impressed with the Rams. I was very happy that they came to play, as we talked at length about Matt Stafford. That is why Matt Stafford is a bona fide Hall of Famer. He got one of them, and he played really, really well. There were some moments, though, that I felt things did not go well. Obviously, Xavier Smith had a really, really rough game. That muffed punt was a really, really bad spot. The turf monster got him, as they say. And I don't know. Have you heard Rabel's call on that?
Mm-mm.
What does he say? He goes, "Ball! Seahawks! Recover!" or something like that. It's absolutely hilarious. But that was a big game changer right there. That shifted momentum a lot.
It's probably the difference in the game, if we're being honest.
Coming out of half, I mean, the Seahawks also shifted momentum at the end of the first half, so there were a little bit of self-inflicted mistakes by the Rams. Some of my biggest issues, honestly, are with Sean McVay. I felt some of his fourth down calls, even just to go for it, were not amazing. And as much respect as I have for Sean McVay, and that's why a lot of this is kind of puzzling to me, there was stuff in the Bears game I didn't quite understand from him. There's stuff in both Carolina games that I didn't understand from him. And it's really weird to me because, as I kind of said, he's the second longest tenured coach in the NFL right now. And that helps that Harbaugh's out and Tomlin's out in their respective places. But for a guy who's won one and is so respected and revered, I think he's had a rough season. And for a team that came in with a lot of expectations, and maybe I'm nitpicking at it, I think there's a decent amount of blame that goes to Sean McVay.
I think there was probably some failure of execution on third downs. I mean, the Rams were 1 of 8 on third downs.
That's not good.
That's if you want to point to what caused the Rams to lose, and I think number one, you have to give Seahawks credit for how many pass breakups did they end up with in the game. I know it was quite 7 pass breakups, 3 of them to even worry. He was really good, and besides the 15-yard penalty, Reek had a couple that were huge too. So. The secondary for the Seahawks was disruptive. They got quite a few knockaways at timely spots, but also Stafford made some unbelievable throws. But the number of times when the Seahawks were able to convert those third downs, particularly in the second half, will they finish 7 of 13? Yeah, I mean, you get 5 more chances on third downs because you kept drives going. They were, despite it feeling like the Seahawks dominated time of possession, they didn't. It was almost even. And that was with the Rams closing the game.
Well, a lot of this game was even. Passing, 365 to 321. Total plays, 58 to 65. Rams had almost 100 yards more, 10 total drives apiece. There's a lot to be said. 4 penalties for the Rams, 6 for the Seahawks. There's a lot to be said. This game was pretty even.
Yeah.
And it came down to, kind of that chess match. And for as much as we've lamented about it, and as much as a lot of Seahawk fans have basked in it, I think there's some real smoke to saying Mike McDonald has Sean McVay.
I think there is, but then, to be totally honest and clear, that's what he was brought in to do.
Exactly.
Was to counter McVay and counter Shanahan. Who's still standing and who did he go through?
He went through McVay and Shanahan.
Played them both 3 times.
3 times. And if you look at all, let's see, so you've got 6 games total against Kyle Shanahan, against Sean McVay. Seahawks could have won every single one of those games. There's Abe Lucas gets dump trucked by a Bosa, and that costs the Seahawks in week 1. Okay? Sam Darnold
missed field goal and 4 interceptions.
Sam Darnold throws 4 picks, and they miss a field goal against the Rams. Then you beat the Niners in kind of smoke show fashion in the playoffs in a gritty, ugly game at the end of the year. Sam throws 2 picks, and you still beat the Rams again. So there's a lot to be said, and it's sometimes hard to read the body language of Sean McVay because he's got that, Lanning cokehead energy to him sometimes.
You can read his energy at the end of that game.
Oh, yeah. But
Holy.
During the game, it's something about him this year, and I don't want to pretend to be like some coaching expert. I'd be fascinated to hear what Big Sook has to say about this on primetime when it comes to McVay. But there were just times, I don't want to say deer in a headlight because the dude's obviously really smart and very experienced. But there were moments where I felt he kind of looked like, none of this is working. Why can't I get this right? And I'll give it on him. And that's why a lot of his players ride and die for him. He'll be the first one on the microphone after the game and say, that's on me.
Yeah.
And he will say it almost defiantly. Like, don't you dare tell me Matt Stafford's a problem.
Yeah.
Don't you dare tell me my defense is a problem. This is on me. And I think that's why a lot of guys ride or die with him and love
You know
him.
where the buck stops.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes him a really, really good coach. But there are moments, I'm trying to catch his body language, and it's like, it's more frustration. You know, we talk about being cool, calm, collected. And he's a high T guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I understand being kind of volatile a little bit. But boy, when he plays the Seahawks, especially in that game yesterday, it felt like he was searching for answers and was pissed that he couldn't find them.
Yeah, and look, man, let's go back to all of our youths. Can't run with the big dog. Stay on the porch, man.
It's the truth.
And right now, McDonald's a big dog.
He kind of is.
In year 2 with the Seahawks, year 2 as a head coach, you know what he is? He's McVay 5 years ago.
Just on the defensive side of the ball.
He's coming in just swinging.
I believe I heard he's the first head coach to be coaching in a Super Bowl that calls the defensive plays.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That's pretty rad.
It's not something you have very often. Usually that it's delegated off.
And it completely blows up that narrative of hiring coaches.
On the defensive side.
On the
Or
defensive
you need
side.
to be offensive. You need to be Andy Reid. You need to be.
I'm not sure if it's the first one to play in a Super Bowl or he would be the first one to win a Super Bowl.
Okay. So maybe it's that.
Yeah, that's just a little caveat.
Which I think we all kind of know which way that's going.
Yeah, probably. And that, it changes the narrative. You know, like, we'll talk about some hires throughout the week, but Steelers hire Mike McCarthy because they clearly need offensive help. You know, who's going to go into Miami? Can they work? Can they resurrect Tua? You know, Kevin O'Connell, he can make J.J. McCarthy work because he made Sam Darnold work. Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, you know, everybody wants the offense. You know, Ben Johnson leaves Detroit. They take a step back. So that narrative of I've got a young quarterback or I've got a team on the brink, I need someone to unlock my quarterback.
Or
and
you could just build a really good defense and get a plug-and-play quarterback, which is easier said than done.
And he's better than a plug-and-play, but I know what you mean.
But like you get somebody who you think is competent or
And-
above competent.
And a offensive mind in Kubiak who might not be the best.
Oh, well.
He might not be top 5.
No, he's
But
going to be head coach.
But he's very, very good. Yeah. Welcome to Vegas.
Yeah, he's the odds-on favorite right now.
I heard that. I heard there's a conspiracy that Brady kept singing the praises of Kubiak on the broadcast
got an
last
up-close, in-person view of him. So
it's a nice working interview. It's a very nice working.
yeah, I've wondered if he
interview.
was allowed in the interview room pregame for that one.
You know, Clint, can you spell Mendoza?
How do you like Fernando?
Would you like a quarterback with the number 1 overall pick? Yeah, and I don't want to kill, just to finish up McVay real quick, I don't want to kill him too bad. He's still a great coach. And I think there's a lot more success in his future.
Gun to your head, do you think him and Stafford are done, or do you think they write it back?
I think they ride it back one
Okay.
more year. One more year. Maybe we'll talk Stafford later this week or something. That could be a fun conversation. I think there's a bright future for him still, but I think this offseason for him is going to be miserable. I think this one's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think Seattle was the better team yesterday. Not by a lot, but I think they were the better team, and the Rams still could have won that game.
Oh, they could have because who they have at quarterback. I mean, Stafford in the
And the
second
weapons.
half. I mean, Stafford in the second half was just unbelievable.
And the weapons. Puka had a good game.
Yeah.
Devontae was great.
Still turns out he's really good.
0-5 in conference
Yeah, it's
championship
tough.
games. Oh, poor guy.
Not on him.
No, but he's also played with great quarterbacks and lost those games.
Yeah. But also remember that Packers loss. That was the defense.
Yes. My heart goes out to Devontae
Why
Adams.
McCarthy was fired.
That is why he was fired. When we come back, let's slide over to the AFC and just an absolute barn burner. We'll go to Denver next. Hour number deuce, 105.1 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on The Fan, the Trailblazers looking to start a new win streak as they hit the road for a 3-game trip. It starts tonight in Boston against the Celtics. That is a 5 o'clock tip on Peacock. Denny Avdia, Robert Williams III are both questionable. The Blazers 7.5-point dogs. They are 23-23 on the season. That is good for 9th in the Western Conference. Super Bowl 60 matchup is all set. Seahawks and Patriots for all of those marbles. February 8th, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are early 4.5-point favorites. Multiple reports say former Chargers and Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers withdrawing his name from the Bills head coaching search. The Bills are also considering Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinski, who has reportedly withdrawn his name from the Browns search. Udinski has also agreed to a new deal with Jacksonville if he is not hired as Buffalo's head coach. And the Chargers have officially named former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel their new offensive coordinator. McDaniel had withdrawn his name from consideration for the Browns and Bills head coaching jobs, but he did also interview for the Raiders job. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7 after Isaac and Souk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, Hour Number Deuce here. If you're missing the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. You can jump over on the YouTubes, youtube.com/1051thefan. If you missed Ian Furness this morning on Dirt and Sprague, you can check that out. And if you're like me and might not be able to catch Primetime live but want to hear what those guys got to say about your Hawks, tune into that from 3 to 7 tonight on the YouTubes, or the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. You can rewind or fast forward, just not in the future. That would be impossible. Coming up this hour, 11:45, we'll have Web Gems as we always do, but we'll spend a good chunk amount of time on the AFC side, and that's where we are taking as the Super Bowl matchup is set. The Seattle Seahawks represent the NFC. The New England Patriots represent the AFC.
The sacrificial lamb to the Seattle Seahawks will be
as they defeat the Denver Broncos 10-7 in just a wild game.
That game was so bad. I want my time back.
You know what's really interesting? The easy narrative and the right narrative going into this with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback for the Broncos was, what's those 15 first plays? What's the identity that Sean Payton's going to go for? What's the offense going to try to do? And, there was a little bit there where Stidham had a lot of flair to him. I don't know if you caught that, Danny. There was a lot of ego. There was a little moxie coming out of him.
I think you almost have to fake it till you make it.
I think you do, too, and I'm not going to bash him. I kind of liked it. That game started, and I was like, okay, this kid feels good. He throws that absolute dime to Mims to kind of open up the game, and then they score a touchdown. And you're kind of thinking to yourself, okay, all right, maybe we have a game here. And then kind of the narrative that truly was spoken about. Good luck, Stidham. He's got no shot. It's strange that your first couple drives you can look as confident as he did and then completely fall apart. I thought he looked flustered.
Well, yeah.
He looked rattled. He looked unpoised and not ready for the game from there on out. The two, chest pass throws he had, one for a backwards pass fumble and the other for an incompletion, kind of sitting there going dude, throw the ball. You're a quarterback.
Yeah.
Use your arm. I mean, the fumble one, I guess he was kind of getting hit and trying to make something happen, but for how close this game was, It should not have been this close with how bad he was after that first scoring drive.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's May was getting torn apart by that Denver defense.
That offensive line in New England might be their biggest weakness right now. They could not protect him, and Denver's defense came to play.
No, I mean, that was, when you weren't here on Friday.
They knew they had to.
Yeah, I mean,
They knew they had to.
When you weren't here on Friday, I pulled up a stat. Over the last 50 years, no road favored by 4 or more points is covered. And guess what happened?
They covered.
No, it didn't.
Oh, the road team.
The road favorite has not, in the last 50
that's right.
years in the
Got it. Now I
AFC
follow.
title game, that is a 4-point favorite or larger, has not covered. It just keeps going and going and going. It's all these weird circumstances. And, I thought New England would just take care of business because their offense wouldn't be able to do anything. Credit Denver's defense because
Big
they
time.
were disgusting.
5 sacks on Drake May, 21 pressures. And let's talk about Drake May for a moment. Like,
Do we have to?
we do. Drake May is a very interesting candidate, okay? He has now played their first round game. Are they playing their first round? Why am I blanking on this? The Chargers. Played the Chargers. Not a very good game. Played the Texans. Not a very good game.
Well,
Played the Broncos. Not a very good game. Now, what I will say is, I don't know where the Chargers rank metrically, but that's a good defense. You know how I love Darwin James.
yeah.
Darwin Jones. Darwin James.
Derwin James.
Thank you.
You got it.
Trust yourself, Patrick.
Stroke.
But, they're the only team to have defeated the number 1 and number 2 total defense metrics in a row in the playoffs. And your reward for that is probably number 3 with the Seahawks.
Enjoy.
But Drake May, there's something about him that kind of got it done. I remember at the beginning of the year when the Chargers beat the Chiefs in Brazil. And I wouldn't shut the hell up about the moments in which Herbert ran. There were 3 moments in which Drake May ran the ball yesterday, and they were brilliant. 1 for a touchdown, 1 for a huge first down, and 1 to seal the game. And that's where I do give Drake some credit.
I mean, he did have 10 carries.
He
He led quarterbacks. No, Herbert just passed him up, but he was right behind Herbert in rushing yards for quarterbacks this year.
Everybody knew that Will Campbell has kind of struggled on the left side, the rookie. And he did again, which gets me a little ginchy if I'm New England. That's, a top 5 pick that I really, really need to pan out. But he's a kid, so you can let that slide. I thought he handled the fact that everything was kind of going against them very, very well.
And he didn't turn the ball over
No,
against the unit that is, probably the second best defense in football.
they really like it. They really like it. Now, a lot of things broke the Patriots' way. We'll get to weather here in a moment, but Denver couldn't make field goals. Denver could not run the ball if their life depended on it. That interception that Jared Stidham threw at the end, I was at this bar in Great Falls watching it. And
Which I'm sure there's probably some Broncos fans in there.
what was interesting is that bar was 50-50 Hawks-Broncos.
That makes sense. You're probably about the same distance.
My
from
mom
both.
and I were talking about it, and I pulled up Google Maps, and it is basically the direct center
Smack
between
dab in the
Seattle
middle.
and Denver. Yeah, was really fascinating. Like, as the crow flies, they're about the same amount of time on an airplane, about the same amount of time driving. And Stidham let that ball go, and I just went, uh-oh. And I think I said, not to toot my own horn here, but I think I said something before everybody else realized what was happening. You can just see it. Like, one of those things that made Russell Wilson kind of special there for a little bit was his floater.
Oh, the deep ball.
The
He
deep
just
ball that
uncorked that thing.
just kind of floated
Yeah.
its way down. That was a 50-50 ball
Yeah.
if I ever saw one.
Playing 500.
And I was just like, uh-oh. And sure enough, there was Gonzo there to grab that ball. The wide receiver couldn't even play DB.
No.
That's how bad the throw was. So there was a lot of things that I think went well for New England. But I give a lot of credit to Drake May, and maybe the most underrated thing about New England right now is Mike Vrabel in that defense.
Right?
They get after the quarterback. They play as a unit. I don't know all the guys' names.
You don't know anyone's names.
I don't know
And that's
anybody's
not, that's not a
name.
shot
Nope.
at you. That's just this Patriots team. It's, to be honest, it's very reminiscent of the Belichick era.
The first one.
defenses. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know who Teddy Bruschi was.
no, it's
I knew
it's,
Willie McGinnis,
yeah, but
but
it's-
I didn't know Vrabel.
It's the Vrabels, it's the Brewskis, it's the Troy Brown playing
Ty Law.
DB. You know what I mean? Like it's It's those kind of things. Yeah,
Lawyer Malloy.
Yeah, they had dudes. You know, Richard Seymour. Like you had dudes, but it wasn't dudes in the sense of like, here's your first team Hall of Fame or first ballot Hall of Famer dude. After it's not the Legion of Boom. It's not the Steel Curtain. But they had good to great defenses over and over and over again.
A lot of those guys at the time weren't Hall of Famers, and they became
Hall of Famers. Rodney Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just kind of go down the list of guys, and you're just like, yeah, there's a lot of really. It ended up being a lot, you know, Brewski, Vrabel, like it's a lot of dudes just ended up being very, very, very good.
And I think Vrabel has this team cooking, and I know we talked about it a lot last week, and have throughout all the season. I think you are seeing there are multiple ways from a coaching standpoint to win it all right now. You can be the Dan Campbell, Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Mike Vrabel type.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. Looks like you can be a Mike McDonald again, too. Because, you know, Tony Dungy was that guy for a while. You know, you can still win in many, many different ways. I think it's how you're approaching the team mentality.
Which I love about the NFL right now is that there's no cookie-cutter methodology to win, which is kind of come around. We've talked about this so much, the parody of the NFL, but it's as much as it's a copycat league, and there's certainly be elements of things on offense and defense that you're going to see. You know, the idea of now, you know, rolling safeties over the top and having, you know, umbrella coverage and making sure you keep everything in front of you. The big play is not something you're seeing as quite as prolific, but it also makes it so much more valuable at the same time. Teams are making other teams try to really run the ball and drive down the field and really not give up chunk play. The idea is limiting chunk plays, but you're seeing teams kind of lean more into running identities, being more physical. And this is the brand of football that, to be honest, is the more in line with what we grew up with. And I think it makes the game better, is it having this multitude of ideas, this multitude of methodologies and how you're going to attack it. Because, you know, you look at the 4 teams remaining, I think the one thing that kind of shone through and all that, with the exception maybe of the Rams, is that they were all defensive minded, and they don't have all world quarterbacks except for the Rams. That's how they're able to overcome that. They have a first ballot Hall of Famer. But now we're going to get a showdown in a Super Bowl with 2 quarterbacks, one of them, you know, high profile draft pick, that had to figure it out. Another one, a high profile draft pick that figured it out very quickly. But May and Darnold these aren't like surprise success stories when you're talking about pedigree and profile.
They shouldn't be, and I hate the Darnold narrative. Look, the Carolina and Jets teams that he were on were dog-ass. Absolute dog-ass. Revitalized a little bit, being a backup for Shanny.
But it's never been a talent thing.
No, never. Never been an arm, never been a brain. No. It's been a fit. And
probably some maturation and figuring some things out and working out the demons, as it were.
And something that might not get enough play that probably should, like, I know there were guys in between, but nobody ever really believed in them. But Drake, as a number 3 overall, you're in an AFC championship. What that helmet says, when you see a quarterback back there, if you are over the age of 15, when you see a quarterback with that helmet on, you instantly think Tom Brady. And he's got the impossible. He's the Kalen DeBoer right now.
Step into those shoes.
The impossible job of being Tom was a 4th rounder, 5th, 6th rounder, whatever it is. And he came out of nowhere, so it's a fun story. But now you've got to back up the dude, and you're a top 5 pick. Everything is now in your world. And I think the kid's handling it very well. Look, Brady wasn't good his first Super Bowls. Those first 3 Super Bowls he won in 4 years, he wasn't great. Especially the first one. The best quarterback on that team was Drew Bledsoe. He just got hurt.
Where did you go to school?
I think he went to high school in Walla Walla. Yeah, Eastern Washington.
Definitely not a Coug.
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not the greatest Wazoo Coug of all time. Who went number 1 overall in a draft pick, as a draft pick, and went to the Super Bowl his 2nd year. No big deal.
And also apparently not a great wine connoisseur.
Not a super great dude either.
Yeah.
No, I just happen to really, really love him. And I think Drake has handled it. The skills are there. He can throw the ball. He's going to learn from this. He's going to have to try and be better, because you can't have these clunkers in a row. And he might have a really big coming to Jesus moment against the Seahawks. I like the tools.
I'd rather be there in that situation and have the opportunity.
I'd rather have a shot than not be invited to the party.
For him, yeah. Like, because even if they go out there and they do get smacked around by the Seahawks, do we have a line on it yet?
I think it's 5.
Is it that big?
Opening is 5, or is it 4?
I think it's 4.5. half.
Let's see. Do,
4.5 at
please.
least on ESPN.
Yep, 4.5. That's
4.5.
that's a big line.
It'll go up, too. I think money will come in on Seattle.
You're probably right. Hey, look, get in price right now looking online. Do you know what it is for the Super Bowl? Tickets as low as Super Bowl, San Francisco. Well, Santa Clara.
I'm gonna go. It starts with a 5.
I was going to say 6,800.
With 5 with a comma.
62.57.
Oh, okay. Well, I lose. I lose prices right rules. I went over.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
Which is why I will never go.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll pass on that.
I'm good.
Things kind of change real quickly in this game, and let's get to that. Do you enjoy it? It makes for great entertainment in my book. The weather. It's snowing everywhere in this GD country. We'll get to that next. 105.1 The Fan. Well, I am sad to inform you all that in my trip to Montana over the weekend, there were no exploding trees.
Weak.
To be fair, as I pointed out on the YouTube
Wait,
chat.
is this a thing?
Yeah,
Are we to expect exploding trees in
Were you-
Montana?
Were you not here when we were having the conversation about exploding trees when it gets so cold that the water expands and they explode?
I think apparently
Apparently
I
not.
was not here or I was checked out.
Must have been the kid in the booth over there. To be fair though, where I was in Montana, not a lot of trees, buddy.
Nope.
Not a lot of trees. The mountains were like 200 miles away, and I could see them.
Yeah, it gets so flat out there. You can see out in other states. But yeah, wow, my voice is not.
Yeah,
working
you
today.
dying over there, man?
I don't know what's going on.
Sound like me.
But Jeff, the exploding trees. It gets when let me pull this up right now. Let me see where it's at.
All right.
I keep it on my phone because I'm a psychopath. Hey, no, it's at the
Well,
high.
there's other reasons why you're a psychopath.
Yes, it's true.
It's not that.
When I used to live in all the places I've ever lived, I keep the weather on my phone. Today's high is 14. It's 14 degrees, but for the last week, the weather has been in the negative for the high, with it dropping down to like around negative 30. What ends up happening is the jet stream comes out of the North Pole, drops the temperature in a disgusting manner. And
I hate when my jet stream comes out of the North Pole.
right?
It pissed me
it's
off,
a real
dude.
problem. But it freezes everything so fast that the water in the trees expands and trees explode, and it's like a gunshot going off. It's nuts. Which is why if you go around that area, you don't see people with trees around their house.
I am today years old.
Yeah.
When I
Exploding
found out
trees.
about that.
Also, I learned a lot of people in those small towns don't have fences around their house. Because it's just my yard. Everybody
yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Just stay the hell out.
Would you like an update on the movie I watched on the plane?
Yes.
Was it another Godfather movie you found?
No, but I've decided now when I fly, I only watch classic movies.
Is it more or less pretentious than the last one?
Oh, I think way less.
Okay, what we
I
go
think
with?
you even might like this movie.
Okay.
I watched The Great Escape
Oh, there you go.
with Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
Ooh, there
Dude,
we
I
go.
love- look,
The
you,
POW movie
I don't think
from
I've,
World War II.
I don't think I have ever actually sat down and watched
Oh,
that.
dude, it's
Oh,
fantastic. I mean,
that's
it's a long one.
Yeah.
yeah,
but-
it's almost 3 hours, isn't it?
Almost 3 hours,
Yeah.
but it is a superstar cast.
Yes.
Steve McQueen is the name, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of dudes in
Oh,
that
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Really, really good.
You say Steve McQueen or Paul Newman, I am taking a seat.
Paul Newman all day if I had to choose between the two.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm saying like if you're
But yeah,
putting
Steve McQueen
if
is
you're
great.
putting those like their genre of movies on, I'm in.
Well,
Yeah.
Paul Newman obviously has a greater body of work than
Yeah.
Steve McQueen,
But I'm just saying just in general, like
solely because of the lifespan.
nobody
Not
puts
solely, but
yeah, but nobody puts those movies
largely.
down, and I'm going, I'm not watching that.
And Steve McQueen, and they're different too. Steve McQueen's kind of the like he's like a man's man, kind of funny, to where Paul Newman is like good looking and silly.
Mhm.
You know, good looking and silly, and when he's wrong, I love his acting chops when he's wrong. Like I watched Butch Cassidy not too long ago, and he's just yelling at Redford, and Redford's like, "This guy's kind of dumb."
Well, it's like the other day we brought up, I don't remember if it was with you guys or with Mr. Anderson, but Sam Darnold's grandfather was a Marlboro man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And his name, Dick Hammer.
Mm-hmm. Given name.
Richard Hammer.
Richard Hammer. 'Cause
Richard Hammer. The
if you're going to
Marlboro
get named
Man,
Richard Hammer, you better go by Dick.
right? Also, and it's kind of funny, Darnold comes out as a ginger. Is a ginger white man the least likely Marlboro man on the history of the planet?
Yeah,
Well, and it's just unfortunate too that like the Hammer name was not on the paternal side of his name because he could have easily been like Dick Hammer the Third.
I don't know if I've ever seen a football game that went from I could see the field to complete white as fast as that did. It's hard to see it on TV sometimes. You know, it's like, oh, it's snowing. I remember it was snowing in the New England-Houston game. I was like, oh, it's snowing, but it wasn't really sticking. Then all of a sudden, I like went to go take a leak, came back out, and the whole field was white.
I don't know if you know this, but storm a brewing through like 90% of the country.
This is why I live in the Northwest, baby.
White like Gary Busey's dog.
Right? Goodness gracious.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
No, this storm is like I saw the stats on it. It's going to affect 230 million people in what was it, 40 of the 50 states. So basically throughout the West Coast and Hawaii, and then I think like Arizona, New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you're looking at. Otherwise, the rest of the country is just getting hammered.
It snowed on me in Montana, but like there was snow on the roads and everything, but that snow is 2 months old.
It's different there.
Yeah.
It's been
just
snowing there
different
for a
there.
long time.
Yeah, it's less snow and more just petrified ice.
Yeah. Although they handle it well.
Oh yeah, it turns
I
out
drove around no problem.
no problem. Do they salt the roads there?
No.
No, they don't.
Well, I don't know, actually. I don't know. Everything had lanes.
Well,
and
I think everywhere that really knows how to handle it,
Salts the roads.
salt. Yeah.
Yeah, North Dakota, if you live in there, you buy the undercoating.
Yeah.
So like one of the only, like North Dakota, Michigan, Minnesota, you buy the undercoat.
There's no doubt about it that the weather drastically affected this game. No one could kick field goals. No one could throw the ball. No one could run the ball. You like that football?
I do. I don't like it all the time, but
It's
I
not
do.
good football,
No.
but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
I
maintain the perfect football game is a light rain before, or a heavier rain before, light rain during, 48 to 52 degrees.
And what I always think about too is the NFL is so strange. Like, we'll take Providence Park up the road here, okay? If it, this town, it rains a lot and can have pretty crappy weather or some extreme heat in the summer. If you sit on the west side after noon, you are covered and the sun won't get you, and it's a good experience and you're still outside. In the NFL, if you ain't in a dome, brother, you ride with the rest of us. There's no, unless you're in a suite, which costs $1 gajillion, there ain't no reprieve.
No.
So when the snow starts in the third quarter and you're sitting there with Billy Bob and watching your Broncos, like, you're riding with however they're riding.
Yeah, no, it's if it's whether it's
Also why I don't go to NFL games.
I mean, whether it's Denver, Chicago, Baltimore, New
Green
England, Green Bay,
Buffalo.
Yeah, those dudes are psychos. I mean, they when they get hit with snow, they get the snow off the lake.
Cleveland
kind of
gets the wind off the lake.
And same with Chicago, where it's just like, oh, buddy, buckle up. Remember the Chicago
Well,
a
at least
couple weeks
Buffalo
ago?
gets the fans to come out and shovel out the stadium.
Yeah, I know, right? Here's a couple feet of snow. Oh no, we got this. Hey there, don't you know? It's great. But no, I mean, the whole idea of Chicago moving to a dome is gross.
Yeah.
It's gross.
But I mean, Minnesota and Detroit play in domes.
It's gross.
They're also super far north. On the text lining, as entertaining as snow football is, I feel like yesterday got to the point where it wasn't really an indicator of who was better or worse. If you play that in a dome, New England might still win, but I feel a little disappointed that the AFC by a series of gimmicks in a blizzard. I hear you. It is not great football. It is not, I hate to use this term because life isn't, it's not fair, quote unquote.
Yeah, but you also have both teams that are used to it.
And both teams, you're
but the thing
playing
is
with
not-
the same set of rules. You both have the same set of, you have the same cleats. You're playing with the same ball,
Yes.
same helmet. You feel what I feel.
But it's not always the same teams playing that are used to it. If it's
Miami, Kansas City,
Right,
Like that was
exactly.
that Miami team.
So
They didn't even show up.
While watching a game in that kind of snow is fun and stuff, I would much rather it be decided on the field, like in an actual turf field, under good conditions.
Well, what happens is it just turns into a different style of football game. It turns into how long can I control the ball? How much time can I waste before I have to punt the ball?
But this is why when you build your team for what your weather is.
Totally. And that's
why Chicago, Green Bay, Baltimore, those types of cities, they've long been, Pittsburgh, long been defensive minded teams.
And the counter to the texter talking about it's not an indicator of who was best or worse. There was no moment in the snow with field goals being missed galore and all that stuff. There was no moment in my mind that I didn't think New England was going to win that game. No, because
the Broncos went scoreless on 10 straight drives.
They couldn't do anything. I mean, Drake May couldn't do much either. They couldn't run the ball. There was a moment, I think it was Trayvon Henderson fell down, taking his first step, or I don't remember who the running back was, fell down, and May turned and was like, crap. Took one step, saw five dudes, was like, and I'm going down. But that's where when you look at time of possession, 33 minutes to 26, that's kind of it. That shows you it's not a big margin, but that margin was enough to slow the game down, basically speed the game up for lack of nothing happening from the clock perspective, and get this thing to a position where Stidham's going to have to do something to make a chance for Denver to win. And he doesn't have the tools.
No.
And when he had to make something happen, it was the worst moment of his career.
Yeah, and part of this too is also it makes bigger plays, not big plays, bigger plays matter more, which I love.
And I think it's a great indicator of coaching, of just being prepared and in the moment. And that's where I want to go to next. Let's slide over. similar to McVay. I got some Sean Payton issues. We'll go there next. But first, there's Russ with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Trailblazers looking to start a new win streak as they hit the road for a 3-game trip. It all starts tonight in Boston against the Celtics. 5 o'clock tip, on Peacock. Denny Avdia, Robert Williams III, they are both questionable. The Blazers are 7.5-point underdogs, 23-23 on the season. That is 9th in the Western Conference. Super Bowl 60 matchup is all set. Seahawks and Patriots for all of those marbles. February 8th, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are early 4.5-point favorites. Multiple reports say former Chargers and Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers has withdrawn his name from the Bills' head coaching search. The Bills also considering Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinski, who has reportedly withdrawn his name from the Browns search. Udinski has also agreed to a new deal with Jacksonville if he is not hired as Buffalo's coach. The Chargers officially naming former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel their new offensive coordinator. He had withdrawn his name from consideration for the Browns and Bills head coaching jobs and also interviewed for the Raiders job. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Coming up next is Web Gems, everybody's favorite. Gonna put a little bow on this game a little bit. As the Denver Broncos fall at home 10-7. Patriots book their trip. Stop me if you've heard this before, to another Super Bowl.
Hit.
On the text line, I've always said I have respect for for a defensive chess match of a game, but it doesn't make it entertaining. I get it. That's why the rules have shifted over the years. Protect quarterbacks, protect wide receivers, do everything we can to get scoring up and spectacular plays. And for the most part, the NFL's done a really, really good job at it. The benefit they get is when it comes to these giant games, defense is magnified to such an extreme level that the NFL couldn't do anything to stop it. The problem is, or the benefit that they have, is these games become less entertaining as the playoffs drag along. But guess what doesn't become less? The ratings. Mm-hmm. These guys are going to register for both these games probably 40 to 50 million views. Mark my word. Giant snowstorm across America? Dude, this is like Thanksgiving football time. Like,
what else is anybody else doing?
We don't like football. Well, we're stuck in the house. Hey, you want to watch a football game? Oh yeah, I never watch football. You know, you're in Virginia, and you're like, oh, the Patriots. I know. Oh, the Broncos. I know these teams. I'll watch this. You know, you're touching almost every area but the South, and the South, eats, sleeps, and breathes football, so you know they're gonna watch. So the product might not be great. I'm going to tell you, dude, this 10-7 Patriots-Broncos snowstorm ass of a game will get over 40 million views.
Probably. Again, social media, I saw a bunch of videos coming into the storm of like somebody in a wild crash in a snowstorm, and it was some woman saying, my boyfriend or husband going to get me Starbucks at halftime. You know, just like it's the only reason you're leaving the house. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna do right now? Keep wifey happy, but other than that, you're footballed out. Like, I remember the snowstorm we had here, was that 2016, 2017? I'm talking about the last time we got like crazy snow.
Sure,
it was right around then.
I don't remember exactly when,
but my brother-in-law, my sister, my niece, and my nephew, my parents, me, we were all there. It was right around, I think it was for Christmas. It was, but we knew it was going to get bad. It was like, because they live in Tualatin, and trying to navigate that part of the town during snow, not a great idea. That's all we did is we threw on movies and we threw on sports. And the only time I left the house back then, my brother-in-law still smoked and I still chewed. And I hopped on my quad and drove through Tualatin, on top of a 1.5 to 2 feet of snow, just like doing 45, 50 miles an hour through there to go do that. Because other than something stupid like that, when you get this kind of weather, you're just going to lock in, and the NFL is going to go, yes, good,
excellent.
The only people who would have wanted it more is Amazon. Because have you noticed the Amazon linked commercials now?
Yep.
Like, you want to order your thing this thing that just appeared on screen?
Dude, I have YouTube TV. It's like, send this to Patrick's email address.
Send this to your phone. Yeah, and it's like Amazon would have been like, we can get drivers to you, right?
Yeah.
Well, like we've got hovercrafts.
A quick PSA: if those things happen and you go to the Starbucks, do not tell the employee thank you for being here, or I think it's really stupid that you have to work today.
They know.
You are here. They have to work because you are there.
Just
don't go.
Well,
just don't go.
That, or just tip them a little extra on one of those days. I'm sure they would appreciate that.
Say hello and thank you.
Yeah.
Just do it all the time.
Tip a little extra.
What?
Because I am
the restaurant in you is just coming out so strong right now.
So strong, dude.
I am one of those. Well, I'm the restaurant guy, and I am one of those, and I will say thank you for being here today.
I rarely talk to servers when I go to restaurants, just because, I'm just PTSD. I actually said something to a server about how excellent of a job I thought they were doing. In Great Falls, Montana.
I too, on Friday night at the Garden of Olives, pulled a Progressive commercial.
I said to our server in Great Falls, I said, hey man, I'm 20 years in this biz and I don't usually say this. You guys are killing it right now. Food came out fast and hot. Drinks were quick. Service is excellent. He goes, thanks, man. Usually I'm not like this. And I was like, what do you mean, dude? You're doing great. He goes, the owner's right over there. And I was like, all right. I picked a good night.
There we go.
I picked a good night.
There we go. Yeah.
I think the place was called the Celtic Cowboy or something like that. It was like an Irish bar.
That's what I expect to find in Montana. A bunch of Irishmen.
Hey, food was great. Service was excellent. There was a dude playing guitar with his lady playing violin.
Did you
It
get
was
some
excellent.
shepherd's pie?
My mom did.
Really?
Yeah. I would say were there potatoes on the menu?
My mom.
I can say it. I'm Irish.
My mom got the shepherd's pie,
I love a good shepherd's pie.
and me and my uncle got Reuben's.
I'm just going to tell you right now. There's no food that comes off that island that is worth a damn.
Ditto,
Shepherd's
dude.
pie.
Dude, I'm Irish.
Shepherd's pie.
I'm Irish. I know what's up.
It's
Shepherd's pie is delightful.
It's
What's more Irish than having potatoes?
look,
You got
Not
mashed
having potatoes.
Yeah, there you
potatoes
go.
and meat and gravy and I mean, come on, man. What more do you want?
it's just that for an island that dominated the world for 1,400 years, basically, for them to not have any of their own food be
then
worth
the,
a damn.
And then the New York police scene.
Yeah, it's like, how does your food? Like, I guess that's why you dominated the world. Your food sucks so bad that you're like, we gotta find spices,
We
dog.
gotta get out of here.
We gotta find trade routes to go get spices because our food sucks.
I need flavor.
It's just one of my favorite things to ever pop up on social media is British kids trying American food. It's one popped up.
So this is what it's supposed to taste like?
It was hilarious. Like they had him trying American snacks, and they had him like with Twinkies, Three Musketeers, like stuff that we're just like, that's not good. But like they're like, oh,
False. They are good.
but you know what I mean? Like they're so far down the rung of just stuff. But like my niece on her first birthday, they got her a little tiny cake, like a real cake, but it was like a little tiny one. It was the first time she ever had real sugar. And I remember her taking like her little baby hand and like just sticking it in her little cake and putting it in her mouth, and she lit up like a kid on Christmas, just like. That's what all of these British kids did because it was just like, oh, that's flavor. That's what, like, you're allowed to do that. You don't know. You don't have to boil everything.
Things can taste good.
Like
Boiled chicken sucks.
I was saying, have you ever purposely boiled chicken?
No.
My father did when I was a
Of
kid.
course not.
How old was your what year was your dad born in?
57.
Okay, that's outside the range.
That is outside.
I say if dad was like if he was born like
my-
tail end of the 40s and he had parents that
My
were
parents are born in 50 and 51.
yeah,
And
so that's
they're-
like right on the
they're right
They
there.
grew up with parents who had to boil everything.
And
Yeah,
hoarded
yeah,
things. Yes.
like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's no reason to do that, and yet that's what they do. It's just, going out to a nice meal is like, you go to the Hard Rock Cafe in London. It's like, what? Your cows have mad cow. Stay away from me.
Let's go get some chachos.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I have been to the Hard Rock Cafe in London.
It's the only place to actually it's the only place to go get a steak because they import U.S. beef. Do not PSA
1990 Christmas 1997.
Yeah.
I went to
PSA
the Hard
to-
Rock Cafe.
PSA to
It's the
anyone
only
going.
Hard Rock I've ever been to.
If you're ever going to England, if you're particularly like London proper, do not order anything beef in there. If you're going to other restaurants, unless you're going to super high end restaurants, do not order beef there.
Dude, you hate all other countries.
No, I don't. I love most countries.
He hates England. He hates Canada. He hates Paris. He hates France. You hate everybody.
He's got a deal against the UK.
I
and
do.
That's fine.
I do. Their food sucks.
Well, we're also Irish. Tired of those losers telling us what to do
That-
for our
you
entire
know what? That might be just kind of
existence.
baked in. Yeah. The IRA in me's coming out right now. It's like, oh, what's going on here?
And that's why Sean Payton lost this game. When we come back,
That's why I can't watch King of the Hill anymore.
when we come back, Web Gems, everybody's favorite 105.1 The Fan.
it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
No, son of a...
It's Web Gems,
What'd you do?
the firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this Web Gems do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the big nooner, we'll get to a little bit of Blazer action. A lot of NFL today. You know, you can't count on much, but you can count on us covering the NFL on a Monday. We'll talk about fans matchup, and I'm glad the boys did it this morning because I had the thought in my head too. Who had the worst day yesterday? Not the Broncos or the Rams, and I want to add to that list so we can have that fun combo in the big nooner. But Web Gems brought to you today by the Buffalo Bills. As Phillip Rivers has removed his name as a potential candidate for their head coaching position.
And it's gone.
You know, as somebody, I was a Charger fan for a long time. I watched all of Phillip Rivers' career. It was probably around the time he became a Colt, his first stint in between Justin Herbert, where I kind of fell out of love with the Chargers and kind of stopped rooting for him. Mostly because the Spanos suck and so does L.A.
Whoa.
I never really... Dude, I'm from L.A. My family's from L.A. I could say that.
Sorry, that didn't count.
Well, my family is from L.A.
No, I don't like it.
I never thought about Phillip Rivers as an NFL head coach. I know he
Neither
coached...
did anybody else because he's coaching high school football.
I know, but a lot of guys that coach in the NFL started in high school if they weren't a former player. And it kind of just got me thinking about, former players becoming coaches. Obviously, we've seen it with D'Amico and Vrabel and Campbell and how they have that. But I'm curious what a guy like Phillip Rivers would have been like. And kudos to the Bills, who I feel like their coaching search is getting really kind of stranger and stranger day by day. Not as bad as the Browns. We'll get to them sometime this week. But the concept of Rivers being an offensive mind, a Hall of Fame passer of the football, being a head coach, just kind of piqued my interest and kind of why Shane Steichen brought him in the first place when Danny Dimes went down. I'm like in on this. I want him to take more interviews. Look, he's got kids. He's got a bajillion of them, and they're in sports now and going to college. But it makes me wonder, once those kids are done, if he ever stops having kids, if his wife can survive it all, will he entertain the NFL?
I mean, I don't think you take this interview unless it's something you're considering.
You at least want to hear him out.
I mean,
Curious how this process works.
Do you go straight into being a head coach? Do you go take an OC job?
QB coach job.
You know what I mean? Like, if he's got the itch, he clearly does have the itch to coach, is why he's coaching in high school.
Him and Shane Steichen have such a great relationship. Let's say the Colts have Jackson Dart, Caleb Williams. Is that how you reach out to a Rivers and say, hey, why don't you come in and be my quarterback coach? Teach this kid something.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're like, okay, this guy can coach. And then boom, he's an OC. Or yeah, to your point, just put him in charge. He's a leader of men for 15 years in the NFL. Played at the highest level. They're in the playoffs all the time.
Find somebody in the NFL that played with Phillip Rivers to say something sideways about him.
The only person I know in all of the NFL that says anything sideways about Phillip Rivers is Jay Cutler. They just don't like each other.
You can say what you want about Phillip Rivers. That was a dude. The reason the Colts bring him in to do what he does there at the end of the season is because he's trusted, not just by the coach, but who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about that, like the whole leader of men thing. Like whether it's a Vrabel, whether it's a Campbell, whether it's a Tomlin, a Harbaugh, like Dungy. There's different versions of it. And to be honest, I think Rivers is more of a Dungy.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's some fire to him. Don't get me wrong.
But it's more cerebral.
But it's also there's this knowledge of he's a dude. Dungy played the game.
It reminds me of there was a time Francona was the manager of the Guardians, and he hired Jason Giambi to be a bench coach. And I was like, steroid Giambi? What the hell are we doing this for? And everybody just sang the praises. They were like, guy knows baseball. He's great in the clubhouse. Everybody loves him. He's going to be a manager someday. I don't know what happened to that. This is over a decade ago. I don't know what happened to that. But it was one of those guys, and Rivers kind of popped into my head like that of just, you know, I didn't think about it. Because, Tom would be a terrible coach.
Yeah.
Peyton, I don't think Peyton would be a great coach. Roethlisberger, no. Favre, Rodgers, no. Just trying to go through the top quarterbacks of my lifetime. Rivers was the one that kind of had me, huh.
He's a different cat.
Yeah. Because, even some of the mid-tier dudes, I'm watching Kirk Cousins on TV now. And I'm like, oh, Kirk ain't bad on TV. Matt Ryan, not bad on TV.
Am I the only one that thinks that Kirk Cousins' hair looks fake?
He got a lot of money.
Yeah. And if I remember right, he was losing the battle.
Yes, he was.
So
he is also the most good-looking average white male in America you've ever seen.
You like that?
He is the most average, good-looking white man in America. My daughter comes home with Kirk Cousins, happy as a clam.
Right?
Happy as a clam. Nice Christian boy.
Not knowing anything about his money. You just look at him. You're like, I like the cut of your jib.
Nice
not going to come in your house and curse at you.
Yep, got a good stable job for a long time.
Long time.
Are we talking about Kirk Cousins or Phillip Rivers?
Yes.
Oh, if my daughter comes home with Phillip Rivers, I'm not happy.
Really?
I do not need 13 grandchildren from one daughter.
Step grandchildren.
I still don't care. What's Christmas like for Grandpa Rivers, huh? What is Christmas like for Grandpa Rivers? What's Christmas going to be like for Phillip Rivers?
You guys got a box of candy canes.
Grandpa's pissed that I got 13 kids coming over from one of my kids.
I can't afford squat douche.
Yeah, think about that.
What
for a
if
second.
Rivers' kids start doing what he did?
It's already happened.
And
He is a grandfather now.
He's still alive. There's 60 people in his house.
I have 97 grandchildren.
Are you kidding me? I'm going to go to Danny's house and steal a shotgun at that point. I only need one round. I don't need 90.
I know you got one here somewhere. Give it up, Danny.
They're not all in the safe.
That's what the guy says in Vegas Vacation at Chevy Chase. I'm going to go buy a bullet and rent a gun because I don't need it. I just need it for one moment.
Anybody else have any damn questions?
Literally, somebody start doing the math. If Phillip Rivers and his wife invite their 13 kids over for Christmas,
I think it's only 10.
Or 10, okay.
I think it's only 10.
And let's just say at the time they all have 5 kids. They decide that 10 is too much and they cut it
now
in half.
we got a 50 piece.
That's 50 grandchildren, another 10, plus their partners. That's 20, that's 70. Mom and Pops Rivers, that's 72 people in the house for Christmas. You got
That's
a table
72
for that?
people that wish Chick-fil-A was open on Sundays.
You got a table for that?
And the age ranges are anywhere from 2 to 23 years old.
And blow my brains out with that? I got 6 tiers of kids' tables?
This is from 2025.
I can't go to Chick-fil-A or Hobby Lobby on a Sunday?
Oh, and by the way, everyone's sober. Everyone's sober.
Yeah, that's probably the most
Here's your
part.
here's your age range from youngest to oldest: 2, 6, 10. So there's a little gap, 4-year gap between those three, right? But then it goes 12, 14, 15, 17, 19, 20, 23.
2 and 23.
2 and 23.
Rabbits.
Bro.
Rabbits.
And they became grandparents in 2024.
I'll tell you what, man. We can sit here and bash on Rivers and his old lady all we want, but that's a healthy marriage, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Well, trust me, Phillip Rivers bashes on his old lady enough for all of us.
Sexually?
Yes. Yes.
It's like my brain instantly went, I don't think Rivers beats his wife. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
That's the kind of guy that keeps the bolo tie on at all times.
I don't know. I watch enough SVU.
I'm watching it right now, actually. When we come back in the Big Nooner, the matchup for the fans. You casual fans out there, are you stoked? They're back, baby. Big Nooner's next. 105.1 The Fan.
I'm
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on The Fan, the Trailblazers looking to start a new win streak as they hit the road for a 3-game trip. It starts this afternoon in Boston against the Celtics. 5 o'clock tip on Peacock, Denny Avdia, Robert Williams III. They are both questionable. The Blazers are 7.5-point dogs, 23-23 on the season, 9th in the Western Conference. The Super Bowl 60 matchup is all set. Seahawks and Patriots for all of those NFL marbles. February 8th, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are early 4.5-point favorites. Multiple reports say former Chargers and Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers withdrawing his name from the Bills head coaching search. The Bills also considering Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinski, who has reportedly withdrawn his name from the Browns search. Udinski has also agreed to a new deal with Jacksonville should he not be hired as Buffalo's coach. The Chargers officially naming former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel as their new offensive coordinator. McDaniel had withdrawn his name for consideration for the Browns and Bills head coaching jobs and also interviewed for the Raiders job. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, 2 down, 1 to go here. Firm of Harris and Meringue. Patrick Harris, yours truly with you. That's Danny Meringue to my left. Jeffrey Rust on the 1s and 2s doing the heavy lifting. Do this bad boy every single day from 10 to 1 p.m. Thanks for being a part of our day wherever you are. After us, we'll turn it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2. The Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3, and then it's prime time, baby. 3 to 7 with Isaac and Suk, the best show in town. You know it. Take you all the way home to finish up 13 hours of live, local, continuous, regional sports talk radio. We'll stick in the NFL a lot for this hour, but we'll also get to the Blazers. They play basketball still.
They do. It's surprising they're playing today, but here we are.
Why are you surprised they're playing?
Because 2 feet of snow.
Oh, Jake was telling me out there that Boston's got good mass transportation.
It's not there. It's getting out of there and getting out of that area.
I just flew from a place that was a kind of an S show. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just sit on the tarmac for an hour and a half and de-ice. Come on, Danny, you know
They're
that.
expecting more snow today.
You know that. Just de-ice on the tarmac for an hour and a half.
Isn't that what the Mavericks had to do yesterday and then get off the plane and not play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good for guys that are really big. Go sit in places for long periods of time, then go run around.
I don't have that problem.
Well,
Nope.
but they got nice
First of all, I
planes
don't
to
run.
sit on, though.
Yeah, I know, but it's still not fun, man. Like even
I get it.
they
but
don't have like most teams don't
But
have
they're
like
not. But they're not me in 23A.
no, but they don't have like like team planes don't really exist anymore.
23B.
Like they're the charters now aren't like private team planes anymore. They've gotten out of that. And so even though they have charters, they don't like have like the custom seats for a guys. They're like all season
But so
long.
is there still no like Blazer One?
No,
There isn't.
no.
If I'm Donovan, I'm pissed.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. They get planes that have like
Right.
it's like all business class kind of a deal.
I
But
guess I didn't realize there was no more like Blazer One.
no, like the Rockets and the Blazers were like two of the longest holdouts on having their own team planes. But it's expensive, dog. Like it's
Well, guess
super
what?
expensive.
And you're all GD billionaires
yeah, but you know how you stay that way?
by not spending money.
spending it.
I'd be the worst billionaire. I'd spend money so much.
You
All the
say
time.
that.
All the time.
You say that, and yet not one of them has done it yet.
Dude, I'm poor and I spend money all the time,
Yeah,
too.
I'm not even. I'm barely a thousandaire, and I've thrown it around like I'm at the Acropolis.
Guys, Seahawks, Patriots, we'll spend, the better part of 2 weeks talking about this game leading up to Super Bowl. What are we at? Super Bowl 60?
Mm-hmm.
Is that we're at 60?
We are at Super Bowl LX. That would be large extra.
Large extra. Super Bowl large extra with the Patriots and the Seahawks. Spread is open somewhere between 4.5. Probably get to 5 in no time. Guys, take away the football aspect of this game. Do you live in the world where Seahawks and Patriots piss you off as a fan of neither of those teams? Like the jerseys. Are we living in the narrative that, oh God, it's the Patriots again? Do we live in the narrative of, oh, we live in the Northwest, but I'm not a Hawks fan, this is going to be terrible?
I mean, I could tell you who I'm pulling for. It's the Seahawks.
You pulling for the Seahawks?
Yeah.
And why?
I hate the Patriots.
I feel like there's more of a grievance toward the Patriots side than the Seahawks side.
And the Seahawks are kind of like the little brother in the sense of like, yeah, they got one, but everybody remembers Seattle, New England, and what happened there, and you know the underdog story of it all. But obviously Seattle's going to come in, and they are coming in as a huge favorite. But and they were just tired of it. And I think outside of New England, most people are like, no. You did not suck near long enough to have this happen to you. You need to get pummeled into submission. This needs to be. Was it Seattle, Denver? Was that was the blowout that was over in the first quarter? It needs to be
The
like
safety.
Yeah, it needs to be over like that. Like you need to be sacrificed on the altar, and you need to be just burned at the stake. Like, no. You disappear. You go back to your cold wilderness for a little while. We don't want to see or hear from you for another 10 years.
I think I live in a different world for this reason. I have no problem with the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And I kind of harp on this a lot in college football. When you talk about the Clemsoning it of the world, the Cougan it of the world, and Mario can't win a big game. And, you know, when they say Indiana hasn't won a bowl game in 70 years, blah, blah, blah. They haven't beat a top 5 team in 40 years, blah, blah, blah. I tend to live in the world of, so these coaches and these players weren't there back then. The only constants the Patriots have right now from some of their Super Bowls are McDaniels and Vrabel and Kraft. Kraft's the only one that's been there for all of it.
That's enough for me to hate.
But McDaniels wasn't there when Vrabel was. There might be some crossover. I'd have to check the Google. But I don't associate Vrabel with McDaniels' years. I associate Vrabel with Charlie Weiss and, what was that DC's name? Romeo Crennel. Like, that's what I associate Vrabel with. To where McDaniels I associate with Edelman, Gronk, Randy.
See, I associate him with the Raiders, which makes me hate him even more.
But what I will say is that no player on the Patriots are part of that Tom dynasty. There's no holdover. So, sure, does it bother you that it's the Patriots again? But they're a completely different team. They play a different way. They have different cast of characters.
Do you hate the Washington Huskies even though Jake Locker's not there?
That's different.
How is it different?
Because that's personal.
That is different.
It's not, though.
It's personal.
It's
yeah,
different.
I personally hate the Patriots.
Well, I personally got over it, but I don't hate the Patriots. I was tired of it. I was over it.
I hate them.
Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots go to the Super Bowl.
You have a different angle of it, just like he has a different angle of hating the Huskies.
Don't you tell me about my angle being different than his angle.
Listen, I know about the dangle of your angle.
Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe loses to Brett Favre in a Super Bowl, okay? Some of those guys that were on that team.
I just killed him.
I know you did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a professional here.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
Some of the guys on that team, when the Patriots lost to Brett Favre and the Packers, there was Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis. Some of those dudes were there. The bones were there with Parcells. But by the time Bledsoe got hurt and Brady comes in with Belichick, Charlie Weiss, and Romeo Crennel and that cast of characters, it's still a pretty different team. Because you got, Parcells leaves, and you got to usher in this new wave. Head coach and the star quarterback don't get along. He gets hurt. To quote Belichick, things solved themselves because he didn't like Bledsoe. I view those teams as completely different. And I kind of view these in the same way. Drake May's not Tom Brady. Vrabel is not Belichick, for better or for worse. Sure, there's Josh McDaniels there as a constant, but he's also just a great OC.
I'll just say, just coming out of the YouTube comments, everybody can always rally around Patriots hate.
I understand that, and I'm not trying to stick up for the Patriots.
You are, though.
No, I'm just saying in my world.
You're just soft.
It doesn't.
You're just soft.
It doesn't bother me because it's a different team. It just happens to have the same name.
Yeah.
The Seahawk team is the same way.
Do you hate?
We'll have conversations.
Do you
about,
hate the Lakers?
No,
Why not?
because I don't think they're very good.
But you don't want to see the Blazers win?
The Lakers' success has nothing to do with the Blazers' success in my
But I'm
world.
saying in general, like just because
Are they
the
playing
cast
that
of,
night? Yeah, of course.
Just because the cast of characters is different doesn't mean it changes.
Well, that's personal.
I don't think it is. I think if you looked at like for the most part, general NFL fan does not like the Patriots. They're tired of the Patriots. Regardless of Tom Brady not being there, Belichick not being there, I think that might even make it worse.
These two teams have very moment-defining eras of their franchise. Patriots a lot bigger than Seattle,
Sure.
but Seattle has one.
There's no Pete, there's no Russ, there's no Marshawn, there's no Legion of
Exactly.
Boom, and yet I bet you more people are rallying behind this Seahawks team than they are the Patriots.
And I think
Not just because they're better, but because of like who the franchises are.
And I think that's a lazy argument.
Well, then give me my ruffles and my drink and let me kick up my feet.
Yeah,
Call me lazy.
I think it's a
I was
lazy
led to
argument.
believe to be pie and punch.
And I just think because this Patriot team, despite it being the New England Patriots, look, I'm not rooting for either team. I could care less.
Oh, no way. You 5 toes down?
Yeah. No, I'm 10 toes down that I don't care who wins. I want to watch a good
that's lazy.
game. I want to watch a good game.
That's lazy.
But there's something that both of these teams have really cool storylines. Mike Vrabel, the ex-champ, comes in, keeps McDaniels. They whiffed hard on Gerard Mayo. Bring in the right guy. Now they're going to a Super Bowl, playing ugly football. I like that story. Mike McDonald, defensive guy, but extremely different than Pete. Sam Darnold, extremely different than Russ. This defense, while nasty, very different than the Legion of Boom. I'm able to separate the two.
Boston fans are still Boston fans and douches. All the hate I need.
Oh, I
When
get
you
that.
hate a brand, there's no backing down, ever. I've hated the Patriots since the Rick Meyer Bledsoe draft. Bleep Rick Meyer.
That's your problem. Bledsoe went, sorry, bud.
The biggest problem for me with the Seahawks being in the Super Bowl is that most of their fan base are also insufferable Husky fans.
That's a tough call there, my friend.
That's why you won't put the feet down, because you have to pretend that you're not Seattle Patrick Harris.
Danny, I have told you since the beginning of the season that the Seahawks team is good.
Oh, I know.
At the beginning of the playoffs,
Because you
I told you they were
bleed
going to the
Seahawk
Super Bowl.
blue and green.
No, it is because I have eyeballs
It's in your
and
blood.
I use them.
It's in your blood.
I mean, it is in my blood. My old man was a Seahawk fan.
There you go. See, it's Seattle in you. You can't run away from it.
I've lived in Seattle
Didn't you almost go to UW?
for grad school.
Mm.
We can get into that. I was gonna first day of class. I'm walking in crimson and saying, I don't want to know about your football team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know about your basketball team, and you will fail my class if you do that. Education is different.
Rules for me, not for thee.
Hell yeah, dude.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, man. What do you want from me?
Nah, nothing.
Exactly. I just want everybody to
You need Russ not to tell me about the angle of my dangle anymore.
eat some cake and have a great time.
You think I'm not trying to find this drop right now?
Oh God, let's get out of here. When we come back,
I love when you get uncomfortable.
the Broncos and the Rams had a bad day. Dare I ask, are there some other people that had some bad day? And I got a little lengthier of a list. We'll get to that next. This is Portland Sports Leader, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. Get to some Blazers here in about 15 minutes.
I will say the best part about that drop is, ladies and gentlemen, the short shorts are on.
I can't believe you're wearing shorts today. You go to the gym this morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
I stop and get my girlfriend a coffee every morning on the way to work, and I usually do it like right after going to the gym. And it was like 23 degrees when I walked in. Was it Friday? I think it was. Two older guys looked at me. They were just like, "Shorts, huh?" And I was like, whatever. Walk in. I kind of walked out with them. They're like, "You're kind of nuts,
Dude,
I had to reserve. I had to kind of pull back and not say no. They're inside me.
Well, I was gonna say, what are you talking about? D's nuts?
Yeah. Well, they were older, so I couldn't hit them with the D's.
Why not?
Would have been lost on them.
No, it would not. Both of my children know of the D's nuts.
No. These are olds.
Yeah. Oh,
They definitely in their 80s.
If I had a pair of nuts hanging on the wall, would they be called walnuts? I said, hell yeah. I love that. I love that bit so much.
I've never heard that.
Oh, really? It's from a Dre song. That's where D's nuts. That's how I learned it.
Who are you talking to? Like, when it comes to the hip hop, I'm about Wu-Tang, and that's about it.
I'll tell you the full thing in the break. We'll talk Blazers here in about 15 minutes. But to kind of wrap up our reactions from over the weekend, it's easy to say the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles. I almost said the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah.
And I'm in Super Bowl mode. And the
St. Louis Rams
Yeah.
and the San Diego Chargers.
You got it, buddy.
Yeah.
The Washington Skins.
Yep.
I
will say this kind of leans into this. From the text line, I feel both jealousy and pity towards Patty Pipes for his inability to hate.
It's wonderful. You know what I do at night? Sleep.
Oh, I sleep great. Even my ring, my little tracker tells me I sleep
but
great.
you sleep on a waterbed filled with listeners' tears.
And 9 millimeters.
Yeah, and 9 millimeters.
40 cows.
40 cows, Desert Eagles.
No, that's a 50.
USA, America.
I fought against that when I was in the Air Force because your designated sidearm in the Air Force is a Beretta 92 FS. It's a 9 mil.
America.
I hate that stupid thing. So I campaigned to get a 45. So I carried a Kimber 45 when I was in.
Hang on, look at this.
Team stomping power. I don't care about the extra rounds. You know all about that, right?
About what? Sorry, I blinked.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
I just blacked out right there.
I got nothing, dog.
I just blacked
nothing,
out
dog.
right there.
I will just say, I was very happy when I saw in John Wick when the gun that they give him is a Kimber 45, and I was like, this is it's a good man right here. He's team stomping power.
The only thing I really know is the old James Bond movies with the Walter PPK.
Yeah,
that's about as good as I get.
Little tiny little gun.
Do you know, I spent this entire weekend with my mother in Montana, and because of you jerks, you bags, my mom has told me to watch John Wick probably 6 times in the last 3 days.
Dude, you did.
Why didn't you watch it on the plane?
Good.
They didn't have it on the plane.
Dude,
Bull.
they are
It
so
was not
good.
a choice.
You could have downloaded it before you left.
They are so good.
That was future Patrick. He made a mistake.
They are
I watched
so
The Great
good.
Escape.
Don't get me wrong. You'd seen The Great Escape before, though?
Yeah.
See,
I watch old movies on planes now.
I mean, the first John Wick's old now.
Bro, I'm talking like old.
Like
Yeah.
classics,
Yeah.
60s, 70s.
Hey, I'm
but
just
yes.
saying, John
But
Wick is.
listen,
I watched Charade with Audrey Hepburn and Cary Grant in my hotel room.
I think.
I think you mean Chucky Hepburn, right, Danny?
Yeah, exactly. Old Chucky Hepburn.
This came from Friday's show.
He
When you
plays
were
for,
not
plays for
here.
the Raptors.
So I blacked
He was
out
on the
again.
injury report, and
If
I was
you-
like, "That's my new favorite name in the NBA."
What
is
is your
Chucky
mental
Hepburn.
image of a player named Chucky Hepburn? Like, what does that player look like to you?
I'm gonna go with a Watt.
No.
Wrong.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh no,
Um,
he might as well have a chia head.
see, I was gonna go short,
Oh,
scrappy, gym rat.
See, no, I went the complete opposite. I went.
Well, he's a guard, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I went like coffee black.
Yeah,
Like, looking like Andre, 3K, and
yeah. Like I said, the
in
big hair,
semi-pro,
the big
yeah.
hair, like a chia head.
I hear Chucky Hepburn. I think ABA.
Yeah,
I think red, white, and blue
the old
ball.
red, yeah. Anywho, sorry, I derailed that.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
do.
perfect.
My bad.
The thought process is like the Minnesota Vikings had a bad day yesterday, not having Sam Darnold. The Tennessee Titans had a bad day with Mike Vrabel firing him. But let's take that a step further. The only first rounder from the quarterback draft class that Sam Darnold was in that's not having a bad day yesterday is Josh Rosen. It took Sam Darnold to go to the Super Bowl to remind me that Josh Rosen exists. That is a real human being.
Yeah, that's tough.
So on the Pantheon, like, if you're Baker, Josh, and Lamar, who are all part of that class, and none of you have been to Super Bowls, are you having a bad day?
No.
The money helps.
You know, it's hide the money, all those poor people around. Yeah, like it. Look, would they all want that? For sure. I mean, that's the mark, right? Is when you're in the NFL, is, you know, that's how quarterbacks are measured.
The woulda, coulda, shoulda.
But those guys have all.
Do the Bears wish they had Drake May? Do the commies wish they had Drake May?
I don't think so. I think they're both happy with the quarterbacks they have right now.
The ripple effect of when teams make Super Bowls is always fascinating to me.
This isn't Jamarcus Russell.
No. And I don't mean that. It's more of, look, a few years removed after the Super Bowl, we tend to forget the team that lost.
Mm-hmm.
But in the moment, we always think about the two teams that have made the Super Bowl and think to ourselves their ripple effect throughout the league. Kind of what we were talking about as copycat league and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, are you looking at Vrabel? Is Tennessee mad that they don't have Mike Vrabel?
Yes, they've publicly said it. The ownership came out and said the trade deadline that they didn't want to do a trade with Vrabel. Just because of not because of the negativity, because if Vrabel wants him, they're probably a good player.
Probably really good. Is Kevin O'Connell having a bad day today?
Well, yeah, he made a. If you're talking about a bad day, you want to talk about the Minnesota front office in general.
The
Going
J.J.
with
McCarthy.
Niner.
Oof. They let Danny Dimes out the building,
I
too.
mean, the post game interview with Darnold. Hey, you're the first quarterback to go 14-0 or win 14 games in back-to-back seasons
With two different teams.
It's like
the only other quarterback
Oh,
to win 14 games in back-to-back seasons is Tom Brady.
Yeah. When, look, it's not an apples-to-apples comp or anything like that, and situation obviously dictates these things, but, at some point in time, when the evidence stacks up high enough, you know, it's this idea of, when you're talking about, Hall of Famers. Like, when we were talking about Stafford, you know, somebody was like, on Friday, that he needed to win that game to go to another Super Bowl to cement his Hall of Fame status. Number one, no, he doesn't. But number two, it's like, well, you know, some guys they're like somebody said I had Roethlisberger as a top 15 quarterback, and they're like top 15, top 10. Like, are you high? Like, hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but he's top 10 in basically every stat, and he has one of them things. Like,
He has
yeah,
two of them things.
Yeah, I'm saying, you know, when you get to that level, he's like, oh, he just compiled stats. I'm like, why did he compile? Because he was really good for a really long time.
Yeah, you took a lot of flack for that take. I don't disagree with that take.
But it's like, if you look at the pantheon of quarterback play over the history of the league.
It's not like a Rafael Palmeiro type compiler.
But even then,
Juice.
I don't care. You're still really good for a really long time. And, if Darnold does this and starts stacking, 12-plus win seasons over and over and over again, it's like, at some point in time, you just got to kind of tip your cap to the guy.
Yeah,
but also,
realize.
You have to look at the other teams and go, what didn't they have? Well, Minnesota did have it, and they chose to go a different way.
Maybe we'll deep dive this in the next couple weeks. Maybe we should go back and look at Sam's time in San Francisco.
Probably did him wonders.
That's probably the big turning point, because, I mean, it would have to be so easy after the Jets and the Panthers to just give it up. You get a backup gig in San Francisco, and you're like, well, my wife and kids are going to be happy. We'll have generational wealth. I'll make some money. You know, I'll be in the NFL till I'm in my mid to late 30s and just be a backup and call it a day. Here you are in the Super Bowl.
Boy, that sucks.
Tough life.
Yeah, tough place to
Go
be.
ask Chase Daniel how his life is.
Mm-hmm.
How many passes did he
Go
throw
ask
in
one-
the NFL?
Go ask one of the McCown brothers if they're pissed how their careers went.
They're fine.
They're just fine.
Just fine.
We come back. The Blazers back in action tonight. We'll recap their weekend. I got to know what's going on because I missed it all. We'll do that next. But first, there's Rust with Sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Trailblazers looking to start a new win streak as they hit the road for a 3-game trip. Starts tonight in Boston against the Celtics. 5 o'clock tip on Peacock. Denny Avdia, Robert Williams III, they are both questionable. The Blazers are 7.5-point dogs, 23-23 on the season. That is good for 9th in the Western Conference. Super Bowl 60 matchup is all set. Seahawks, Patriots, all the marbles. February 8th at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Sam Darnold and the Seahawks are early 4.5-point favorites. Multiple reports say former Chargers and Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers withdrawing his name from the Bills' head coaching search. The Bills also considering Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinski. He has reportedly withdrawn his name from the Browns search. Udinski has also agreed to a new deal with Jacksonville if he is not hired as Buffalo's new head coach. The Chargers officially naming former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel as their new offensive coordinator. McDaniel had previously withdrawn his name from consideration for the Browns and Bills head coaching jobs. He also interviewed for the Raiders job. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy. He is at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, I'm sick and tired of this NFL garbage. All right? Enough out of you guys. Shut up. Let's talk about something real here. Like a 500 Blazers team. All right, that was a low blow. I shouldn't have done that. I like the Blazers.
Do you?
I like the Blazers. I do.
I thought you were going to bring up the Premier League or something.
No, I'm watching that. That's fine. I already got my fix on that.
I don't care.
Let's see here. I knew I wasn't going to do the show on Friday because I had to fly out and do some family stuff. But Thursday night, I did watch the Blazer game. Put it on the big TV
Watch
with
a little
sound and everything.
Little Balzers game.
Well, lots of times, NBA can be like, at least in my house, NBA is a lot like baseball. That sometimes I can still watch it, but it has to go to like my laptop or the iPad because like the fam wants the big TV. But every once in a while, I get Sunday night baseball on the tube. Tonight I'll get the Blazer game on the Peacock on the big TV tonight, so that'll be fun, especially 5:30 tip, as Blazers are in Boston.
I think 5 o'clock, not 5:30.
Oh, 5 o'clock? Sorry, my apologies. In Boston, you can catch that on NBC Peacock.
I think just the Peacock, not the NBC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you'll have to excuse my ignorance. It's only because I was unfortunate to have the bandwidth. I really enjoyed the Thursday game. At first, Shea was doo-doo. Shea was doo-doo. But he had an awesome second half.
Incredible.
And that was such a
second
fun
half.
game to watch in the second half. But I didn't catch the rest over the weekend leading in to today. I would like to know because my telephone told me this. There's a player on the Blazers since December 1st who has 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals a game. Shooting 46% from the field, 40 from three-point, 77 from the free throw line. Not my favorite stat, but the rest of them are pretty good. That would be Shaedon Sharpe since December 1st. Those are nice stats for a guy kind of learning his role, especially the emergence of Denny. That makes me very happy. I missed Friday game. Where are we going into Celtics tonight?
I mean, the Raptors game was a tire fire of epic proportions.
Are the Raptors going to be the team that I have to watch in the playoffs and piss me off, or am I going to have fun watching that?
No, I mean they're a little dinged up right now, but they play at an incredibly high pace. They're active. I mean, both teams combined for 31 points in the first quarter. The Blazers' all-time record for low in a quarter is 5 points. It was a game against the Nets in 2006. They had a game against the Raptors in 2017 where they scored 6 points in a quarter, and it looked like for a period that they were going to replicate that 6 points in a quarter. They had 6 points with, I think, 2:44 to go, and I think they were 2 for 19 at one point in time. They had more turnovers, 4, than they had made baskets with like 2 minutes to go.
Who was out on the Friday game?
Denny.
Just Denny.
Yeah.
Everybody else was good to go?
No, Denny.
Rob was out because of back-to-back.
And then Drew and Jeremy both played, but Drew played 20, Jeremy played 26, I think. Yeah. So hopefully their minutes restrictions are about gone. Hopefully.
Well, that's kind of what I was trying to get to on Thursday.
City started in place of Jeremy, where Jeremy normally would have started for Denny, but because it's easier to control minutes
off the bench.
It depends on kind of what you look at. Some coaches think it's easier to control it with starters. Some people think it's easier to control off the bench. I tend to lean towards it's easier to control with starters.
Oh, funny! I thought you were going to say bench. I would choose bench.
If you what you do is you start a guy and you get him into a set shift in the first and the third quarter, and then you just kind of play around with it.
And I was thinking the other way to handle it would be, because you're on restriction, I don't need you to go out there and try and dictate the game. Watch the game a little bit, and then you adapt to how the flow of the game is going. Would be my thought process.
I think you can make arguments for either way, but it sounds like Denny's going to try to go. He did make the trip. He's listed as questionable coming in. Drew and Jeremy are no longer listed.
Oh, at all?
No.
So they are like full goers.
Well, they're full goers,
essentially.
but with that, I think they're still. Let's not have them play 35 minutes.
Sure.
Kind of a situation. So,
and Blazer fans, don't kill me on this. You don't need them to play 35 minutes yet. Like
no.
Everything's fine.
And that's honestly that was the discussion that we had on Friday, and then we kind of we had on Rip City Wrap Up on Thursday night or Friday night. Was have expectations changed, and does that mean maybe you lean into Denny, Jeremy, Drew a little bit more? I want to say a week ago, 10 days ago, I said, like, I think this team's going to win 40 games. I think the possibility, though, is that they could teeter and play with the idea of going anywhere between 40 and 44 wins.
I was just about to say 45 on a high end,
So somebody tweeted into the show Thursday or Friday night, I can't remember what it was, and they said 50 wins. And at that point in time, it was like,
Ooh.
no, it must have been Thursday night.
We talked about it on Friday.
Yeah, so it must have been Thursday night. It was like, yeah, they would need to go 27-10 to have
And
that
that is
happen.
a tall ask.
The Thunder just did that.
Yeah, so
That's the Thunder right now. I
That's
believe
the-
they're like
that's the
32-10.
yeah, so
Not the Trailblazers.
not gonna happen. But could you see them like we played the game at Thursday night or Friday? We played the game of what teams they had left on their schedule. The Blazers have the second easiest schedule remaining.
Yeah, I knew that.
And we looked and we pointed out,
There's 36 games left.
and there was like 18 or so.
Yes.
They're like, you should.
They were the
You
dread.
So you
and
should go
need to
500.
win these.
You should go 500.
So that's why I keep
Sneak
going.
a couple wins here and there.
And you're going to drop probably a couple of those, but you'll probably sneak a couple of those. So in order for that to happen, so let's just say that over the final, what are they at right now? They're at they're
23 and 23.
So they're at
They
500.
are perfectly 500.
So 46 games played. You've got what 20 or 38 remaining. So you go 17 and 17 down the stretch. In order to have this happen,
sounds like that all turns out to perfectly 500, doesn't it?
so but if you've got 18 games remaining against bad teams, you go 500, and guess what that gets you? That gets you to 41 wins.
You get most of those. You drop a couple, like
But
you said.
but you
and
pick up
and
a
then you
couple
pick
extras.
Up a couple against other teams that you're not expected to beat.
It's anywhere between 40 and 44 wins.
And it's interesting that somebody, going back to somebody asking, have your expectations changed? My pushback with that is, and I know it's a little bit of a bubble, a little bit of a chasm of diehard Zer fans that, get mad at me when I say they're not going to win a title this year. I don't have any expectations for this team. And not to go back into that, 5 toes down of Patrick just wants everyone to have a good time and play nice with each other. I view it the exact opposite. I'm here with house money. Show me whatever you want to show me. And when it's bad, I'll go, ooh, I don't like that. And when it's good, I'll go, ooh, I like that.
And that's kind of what we said is that, so if we go, if the Blazers go 500 from here on out like they've been so far this season, then no, my expectations don't really change a ton because remember with the pregame preseason, over under was 34 and a half ish.
Oh, they're going to break that.
Yeah, no, they will. But does going from 34 and a half and then winning 41, like, does that all of a sudden like drastically change your expectations for next year and moving forward?
Well,
not for me.
I think expectations next year are going to be big no matter what.
Well, what does big look like?
Bigger than they are is what I mean. But never underestimate. And this is what we hear when I read your guys' comments on the YouTube chat and on the text line. Do not underestimate. I would rather see another lottery-ish pick than lose in a play-in for this team specifically, not in general. But never underestimate, fans always want a chance. And to get into the show, they always want a chance.
I get it.
And if the Blazers do get into the show, everyone's going to say massively exceeded expectations. I think that's a fair answer.
Right.
But to your point, numbers-wise, 35 to 40, it doesn't move the needle a ton.
No.
But if you get in, that moves the needle.
Right, but the thing is, I feel like this is far different than like the Blazers sneaking into the play-in. That's far different than Miami being the number 10 making the national championship game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Nobody's expecting anything like that out of the Trailblazers. Okay,
Which is kind of funny because the Miami Heat did the exact same thing.
Okay,
but that's also kind of
it's kind of funny. Miami on both sides,
right?
But it's a different circumstance. I just had that pop into my head, and I was like, oh, that did happen. Miami made it from the play into the finals. That's kind of nuts.
But I think as a 500 team and sneaking in as the 9th or 10th seed, nobody's going to be like, ooh, Blazers really got a shot here.
Yeah.
No, it's somebody just texted in, why wouldn't you tank again for draft picks? Because you can't now.
Well, don't tank. I'm not saying tank.
If there was a year to do it, there's 4 guys and there's 3 guys in this draft that are, can't miss.
But the ping pong ball gods are not going to give the Blazers one of these three
but
guys.
that's the terrifying
but I keep
thing.
getting told that they got the 2 years in a row they were one ball away.
Yeah, but no, I mean the terrifying thing is,
Those picks are massively criticized.
Victor Wembanyama.
No, the Blazers picks.
Oh no, I know, but they were one ball away from Victor Wembanyama.
The terrifying thing here, though, is that you could end up seeing one of these good teams kind of have a gap year, or a team like the Hawks, who has Jalen Johnson, who's been incredible. I mean, outside of Denny Avdia, that's the guy who's fighting for most improved, and they own that Pelicans pick. And that pick now could end up being the number 1 overall pick, and they could,
DeBonsa,
whether it's DeBonsa, Peterson, or
Peterson.
Boozer, you're just like, good, great. And that's the thing is, like, I've said this now for a while. Like, Denny is no doubt a dude. Like, he's a number 1 caliber dude. You can't put over 70 plus games. You can't put up 25, 7, and 5 and not be a dude.
He's probably a dude on, I would say, 12 to 15 teams in the NBA.
That's half the league.
That is half the league.
Well, no, he's
But you know
a
what?
dude on any team in the league. But the difference is
What his role is.
It's not even just that. There's a sliding scale of dude.
Right.
Like, he's at the bottom end of that, and I don't mean that in any kind of slight. Like, he's a top 15 player in the league right now. But the difference between a top 5 or top 7 player in the league and a top 15 player is a pretty large gap. And in order to have a contending team, like if you're a top 4 team in the East or the West, you have to have. If you don't have a top 5 guy, you have to have 2 top 20 guys, and one of them has to no doubt be like a top 8 to 15 guy. Like, that's just the math says that's what has to happen.
Right. And I'm not trying to slight Avdia at all by saying he is a number 1 dude for half the teams in the league. But the thing is, if it's that half of those teams are the ones that are probably not in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, I don't want to like poo-poo on Denny by any means, and I know we're
I'm
way
not
over
trying
this.
to either.
But let me give you the top 4 seeds in the Western Conference. You tell me if Denny's better than their best player. Oklahoma City.
No.
Is Denny better than Shea?
Absolutely not.
San Antonio Spurs. Is Denny better than Wemby?
No.
The Denver Nuggets. Is Denny better than Nikola Jokic?
Nope.
Number 4 is the Houston Rockets. Have you heard of Kevin Durant?
No.
A little bit for like 18 years.
Number 5 is Luka Doncic.
Nope.
Number 6, Devin Booker.
Booker's got the longer track record, but
For sure.
And I think that one is more of a collection of talent thing.
not only that, I would rather have an Avdia-like player because I'm always going to go with size.
Yeah.
Number 7 would be Anthony Edwards.
No, Ant's special.
Number 8 is an old but Hall of Fame Steph Curry.
I
I mean, Steph's still Steph, but
Steph
the
is
rest,
Steph.
The rest of that team is not good.
At number 9 is the Portland Trailblazers. At number 10 be the LA Clippers. Every one of them's got a dude.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they all might be better than Denny. I mean, I hate saying that.
Yeah,
'cause
no,
I like
but
Denny a lot.
if you go in the Eastern Conference, it's kind of the same thing. It's like,
But we're not in the Eastern Conference.
but no, I know. I'm saying, like, for a perfect comparison, the team it's been leading the East most of the year is Detroit. If you take away the names and you put Cade's line right up against Denny's, can't tell them apart.
Yeah.
You can't.
Cade's bona fide.
Unless you know who's who, or if you're a sicko and you know the difference between the two. I've seen people say, "Well, Denny turns the ball over too much." Denny and Cade's turnovers are almost identical.
And I'll be real quick on this just for comparison. Boston at 2, that's Jaylen Brown, who's having a phenomenal year for his career. Toronto, what, Scotty Barnes?
Yeah, I take Denny over Scotty.
There might be your outlier. The Knicks are weird because they're a collection.
But it's also Jalen. I'd still take, from my perspective, Jalen's a better player. I would take Denny over Jalen.
Spider in Cleveland.
I love Donovan.
Maxey in Philly.
I take Denny over Maxey.
I would too, probably.
Again, Maxey better quote unquote player at his position, but
So we're talking out of a collection of basically 12 to 15 teams. There are 2 where we would take their guy, or where we would take Denny over their guy.
that's what I'm saying. But that puts him in the top 15, but it doesn't put him in that upper pantheon. And that upper pantheon being Luka, Giannis, SGA, Jokic, Wemby. Like that's the group.
Closing arguments is next. We'll call it a day. 105.1 The Fan.
Meringue is wrapping up for the day,
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that'll do it for us. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Coming up on tomorrow's show.
I love this. You went on a full meringue rant.
I
break.
surely did.
Now you see what I deal with on a daily basis.
I know. We'll get to some Blazers chatter again tomorrow. We will get to Sean Payton, the Broncos, a little bit of leftovers from the NFL weekend. It is a free consultation Tuesday, so we'll have that as well. But to close up shop here real quick, Drake May's in the Super Bowl, so he has a spot open in the Pro Bowl. Come on down, Shedeur Sanders. That is rough.
Come on, NFL.
But I do want to give a shout out to this texter. I will only vouch for myself, but I love the way they put this, and I even text them back about the Blazers. I'm not changing expectations for this year. I'm chalking it down as a good story that makes me more optimistic for the future, which starting the year prior to Denny's breakout, I'm not sure I had that optimism. I love that thought. I know it's a little, drives Danny crazy because it's a little me, five toes, fence sitting sort of thing, but I think that's such a valid point. There's a lot, there's the Andy Johnsons of the world who are pretty down on the Blazers' outlook. The emergence of Denny changed a lot of things for people and makes you feel a little bit better. Obviously, you're worried about Scoot and the health there. You know, can Shea continue to develop, and what's the future of Drew and Jeremy, et cetera? But you give me Denny and Donovan's progression and Shea's progression, yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of take a look at where things are at, and this is the difference between a bad team and mediocre team. Like this was a bad team the last couple of years.
It was a bad team.
I don't think people are like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of the team being mediocre. They've been mediocre for 4 years. They've been bad.
Yeah.
Like, I know. I've been in the building watching them getting their teeth kicked in.
With Damian Lillard,
yes,
they were bad.
Just, like, accept that this is a part of the growth process.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
And stop with the Giannis. It's not going to happen.
We already saw it not work in Milwaukee.
Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. Have a wonderful day out there, folks. We will catch you tomorrow. For Danny Meringue, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.